Kirk Cousins to be released in March. This is already being talked about everywhere, confirmed by Adam Schefter. Obviously, some speculation involved, but very much thought that he's going to be released before the roster bonus is due on March 17, a $10 million roster bonus. This team's moving on. They're moving on and inserting that big Penix energy, and it all begins in Week 16. Connor, a must start with the yesterday information of Benson not playing in this one. Make sure you readjust and adapt based on that news. We had this all up last stream. We've had this up all last stream. People are going to come in on Monday and say, you didn't say anything about Connor. It's literally been up there at the top right corner the entire stream last night and the entire stream tonight. We're going to be drafting tonight. We've got more news to break down. Tony Pollard's going to play. We got a bunch of other news. The Fantasy Football Show. Late night, graveyard, Week 16. News show, start bench show. Michael Penix Jr. celebration show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Buckied. Buckied. Oh, Bucky.
Take a Bucky bath, if you dare. This man is not on the injury report any longer. He's a full go. We have a bunch of players that we need to discuss about being full goes this week that we maybe didn't anticipate, or just some players like Pollard that are going to play. But first, I want to talk about this real quickly, the implications of this. I mean, this is the team, and again, so much has to go down. Like, Penix Jr. goes out there and plays badly, which he won't. But if he goes out there and plays badly for the rest of the regular season, they missed the playoffs, obviously, in that situation. And they're going to be talking about this differently in the offseason, no doubt about it. This is a complicated situation. Why? Because the team did sign him to a big $100 million a year, a guaranteed contract, essentially, $100 million guaranteed. And they drafted Penix Jr. inside the top 10 overall, which made a lot of people upset. A lot of people ridiculed the Falcons. But if you remember correctly, most people that ridiculed the Falcons ridiculed the Penix Jr. pick, not the Kirk Cousins signing. And so at the end of the day, they wanted to have the quarterback position on lock. And while I don't give Raheem Morris credit for waiting this long to insert the big Penix energy into the Atlanta Falcons situation, we do know that Arthur Smith. We do know that Raheem Morris brought this to the table the last time the Falcons interviewed him when Arthur Smith got the head coaching job. They sat down with Raheem Morris, and he applied for the job then. And they said, "What do you think about the future? What's your quarterback? What do you think about with the quarterback position? What are you planning on wanting to do? Explain it to me." And he said, "I would want a backup plan, a succession plan in place so we have our starter for the future ready to go, while we're also in conjunction getting a team that can win now in position, because we can do both at the same time." And they went with Arthur Smith. Once Arthur Smith failed, they went back to Raheem Morris and said, you are correct, young man. This is a fully supported theory in general, to go get Kirk Cousins, to go get Penix Jr. Now, people can make fun of that this didn't work out, but most people were laughing on the other side of the fence, and now they're pretending their laughter can go play both sides of the fence. And that's not the way we're going to remember it. And regardless, it doesn't matter who said what they did. The Niners ended up screwing up their situation with Trey Lance very badly because head coach Kyle Shanahan didn't know when to use him. He ended up losing all of his confidence, and you could say he was trash, but there was a moment in time as a rookie when he won a playoff contingent game, Trey Lance, that he had some major upside, and then Shanahan just held him back. Trey never played much football, so to put him on the bench and collect cobwebs. It was not the right way to mature this kid along. Penix Jr. is ready. He's probably the most, him and Bo Nix were truly the most NFL-ready quarterbacks. Even though JD5, we knew would hit the ground running and look amazing, it truly is this man right here that has the most NFL-ready capability, and he's the one that hasn't played yet. He's the one that hasn't started yet. So this is going to be absolutely enjoyable watching this kid come out and command an Atlanta Falcons team at home against the New York Football Giants. At the very top corner of the screen, you can see the schedule. They're at the top there of the remaining games that we have left. New York Giants at Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be a gunsling show. This guy's got a cannon attached to his shoulder, Penix Jr., and he's going to have a day. And Scott Hansen, I even DM'd him. I said, get ready for Michael Penix Jr. Get ready to come back on the show. You might want to clear your schedule and set that up. He responded to me about an hour ago, and he said, now is, quote, yours/his opportunity. Now, what was the exact word he said? He said, what did he say? He said this. He said, where's that at? Let me see if I can find it. He said this exact phrase. Ha, period. Here is your/his chance and opportunity. I can't wait, because if Penix Jr. goes nuts, Scott Hansen said he's coming immediately back on the show right around Christmas time to discuss the bold prediction that I dropped on the show when he came on and we talked about it. And he's not only, we believe he's going to shout out Smitty in the Fantasy Football Show when he believes Penix Jr. is commanding top 10 production, and he believes it's going to stick, because he said it's not going to happen, is basically what he said on the show. If you go back and watch the footage, he goes, not this year. I love Penix Jr., Smitty. I just disagree that it can happen this year. Even if an injury strikes, you're telling me he's going to come in and play at a top 10 level in December? In December! Ironically, it is December. And I said, yes, Scott. So we're going to have some fun. Watch the Red Zone. I think he'd really shout us out on this Sunday's Red Zone if Penix Jr. had a 4 or 5 touchdown game. I think he would mention your boy's name immediately instead of waiting a couple more games. And again, the Red Zone is a much it doesn't go through the playoffs, so he's got to make a decision this week, next week, or the next week in order to mention your boy. But listen, keep your ears peeled. I can't wait. Penix Jr. is a risky play. He's a must start in my opinion, unless you own Jalen Hurts, JD5, obviously. Lamar or Allen. You don't sit guys like that. I don't care who you have. I don't care if you got JD5 or, Hurts. You don't ever sit Josh Allen. I don't care if you have one of those guys. You don't sit Josh Allen, ever. But there's a pecking order. You don't sit Jalen Hurts. You don't sit Josh Allen. You don't sit JD5 for Penix Jr. But once you get through that top 5, even with Mahomes was a safer play. I said that all week. Safer. He'd get you 2 touchdowns, about 250. Mahomes got exactly 2 touchdowns and right around what will be equivalent to about 250 yards. He had a good day. Did he have a great day? Not a great day, but Mahomes did good. If you started Mahomes, you feel pretty solid. What was it, like 28, 30 yards on the ground with the touchdown, passing touchdown, good yardage? You feel good. But with the Mahomes Penix Jr. question that I've gotten all week long, the Kyler Murray, the Geno Smith, who do I go? Russell Wilson, who do I go here? Penix Jr. or those guys? It's been Penix Jr. every time. You don't have to play this game. You need to know what you're signing up for. You need to make sure you're fully aware of the risks involved, and don't come pointing fingers at me or Bob or Steve or anybody else because you decided to start Penix Jr. You're asking me my opinion. There's a high risk, high reward play on the table entering week number 16, and most waiver wires have Penix Jr. just sitting right there for the taking. And so you'll come in and go, do I start Kyler Murray? Do I start Geno Smith? Do I start this guy, that guy? You gotta decide for yourself. Am I sitting Joe Burrow? No, he's one of those top 5 guys you don't sit. Do I sit Tua Tagovailoa for Penix Jr.? You're damn right I do. Do I sit AR5? Do I sit Goff, do I sit all these guys? Goff is maybe the same thing as Mahomes. Goff and Mahomes are very, very similar. Goff is safer. Penix Jr., way more risk and a significant more upside. You got to decide for yourself. Weather involved. There's a lot of weather concerns. We've got the Minnesota Vikings situation. Let me move all this news over so you guys can see the schedule. Minnesota Vikings at Seattle with some weather, some rain, and some concern. You got to decide whether you want to forego that risk of weather and take on the risk of a rookie quarterback going out there and trying to gunsling. Not to mention there's still a risk that even if they win the game, they play well, he plays well, that they don't overdo anything. They keep it safe. They run the hell out of Bijan and Algier and give the running attack 34 carries, or 40 carries. They run the ball 40 freaking times. Who the hell knows? If they do that, see, he's advising people, but when Penix Jr. bombs, what are you trying to say, Tyler? What kind of hate are you trying to sling here? Let's read Tyler. Keep in mind, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels had a horrible week 1, says Tyler. Okay, Tyler, what are you doing? See, he's advising people. Here, Tyler, let me make it easier for you because you sound like you're uncomfortable being in the room right now with this kind of talk. I feel like you don't like this right now. I feel like this is making you a worried William, Tyler. I think you're a topsy-turvy Tyler right now. So what I'm going to do for you, Tyler, is I'm going to put you in a small timeout. That way you don't have to worry about it. Here we go, Tyler. As you start telling people what I'm doing, I'll put you in a 5-minute, just a nice little 5 minutes so you can get a taste of it. A little 5-minute timeout. Just so you can taste what it's like to not be able to come in and try and tell my chat what I'm doing wrong. See, guys? This is what he's doing. What he's doing right now, what you're doing right now is sitting. Go get me a coffee and come back when you're ready to behave, Tyler. Tyler's really against this. He's been, don't feel bad for Tyler and say, oh, Tyler, look at Smitty. They can't take. Tyler's been doing this for the whole week. He's so hell-bent against this advice. He does not like that I'm telling you that Penix Jr. is a risky, high-risk play, but a very, very high upside fun play. Go on your 5-minute lap, Tyler. I got Denny on the line. Denny, what's up, my guy?
I got something to say about Tyler. Tyler.
Be kind.
But when he says what you're doing, Smitty, it really annoys me. He could have said it like made a point, but he goes, you see what he's doing, meaning you. You don't talk to Smitty like that.
You don't terrified Tyler. He's terrified Tyler from now on. From now on, that's his new name, Terrified Tyler. Absolutely terrified. He can't even fathom. He can't even fathom that some of us would have the cojones to put Penix Jr.
I just wish he had a point, Smitty.
Yeah.
But he had to say he, like about you personally.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about what he was trying to say, he is very annoying. Give him a chance.
We'll give him a chance.
Right now.
We'll give him a chance again. I didn't ban him. I didn't kick him out. I'm not a sensitive Sally. But when you come in and you start talking about, hey, guys, let me tell you what Smitty's doing right now. Everybody gather around. Let's have a little huddle at the water cooler. See, he's advising people, but when Penix Jr. bombs, didn't even finish his sentence. Terrified Tyler was so scared when he was typing this, he ran away.
For Smitty water cooler, he wanted the water cooler. He wanted you to be the outcast. I don't like.
Hey, can I get it? Can I get a song, Denny? I wanna like Eye of the Tiger or some sort of like Rising Up. Do you have any Rising Up material that you could sing on behalf of Penix?
Rising up,
Penix.
out on the street, I got Tyler in my.
No, can I get a Penix Jr.? Can I get some Penix Jr. Rising Up? Go.
Penix is the eye of the tiger. Penix Jr is up. Even though I just love my own Kirk Cousins. Penix is the eye of the tiger. He's the cream of the crop.
Whoa.
And Smitty knows that Penix is.
Bro, you hit some decibels I haven't heard before, my man. That's some impressive stuff. I know we like it. The chat loves it. Give me a Penix Jr prediction.
I bet he a lot of pick sixes. No, I'm just kidding. Do I know you? No, Smitty.
Finish him. Call.
that wasn't it, Denny. That wasn't it. Okay, let's move on. Bottom line is, the word on the street is that Adam Schefter and multiple reporters, beat writers, people connected to the situation, even this NBC Sports report. So I'm putting up different reports, not just one. But Kirk Cousins is expected to be released before his $10 million roster bonus is due on March 17, according to ESPN Adam Schefter. And everybody kind of coming all from Schefter, really. This is going to be interesting. The question is, and this will be an off-season dilemma, is where does he land? Where does he go? Does Kyle Shanahan, who absolutely loves this man, say, I would have, but his time is not now any longer. He's older. He's 30. What is he, 36? Ziggy, how old is Kirk Cousins?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Ziggy, how old is Kirk Cousins? Son of a B.
Kirk Cousins is 36 years old and was born on August 19,
so
1980.
Turns 37. If you're Kyle Shanahan and you're staring at Brock Purdy and you're like, look at this Purdy birdie over here, young, ready to go. He's just getting his career started. Or do I go over to 37-year-old Kirk Cousins, who didn't deliver last time he was called upon? I don't think look, you wanna say that this isn't even possible? I've talked to my Niner buddies all day long. I know this is something they think is possible because of how much Kyle Shanahan loves Kirk Cousins. This is his prototypical absolute favorite quarterback. This is the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan's been trying to get his hands on for his entire career. He loves Kirk Cousins. But again, just like Harbaugh loved J.J. McCarthy, he settled on Herbert was his new toy, and he's gone out saying Herbert's the best quarterback in the NFL. So clearly, coaches can change. They can love the players that they've developed. And on a more serious note, I think, because I don't think he'll go after Kirk Cousins, but this is a situation where it's like Purdy has learned the offense. Purdy will do what Shanahan wants. Purdy will run it the way Shanahan wants him to run it. And he's basically molded him from the beginning. Purdy knows no different. He doesn't have old habits or tendencies to do something that Shanahan doesn't like. Purdy's exactly what he wants. So I think he's going to stay the course, sign Purdy to a new deal, or they do some sort of short-term deal. If it was me, I wouldn't sign Purdy to a new deal right now. I'd say, look, you're the last pick in the NFL draft. You're not even up for a new contract now. It's typically what you would do. And it will cost the Niners more if they are right and he is the guy. They'll pay more the next offseason, but you can build around him and protect him now so you have something to sign. Because if you sign Brock Purdy to a massive $60 million deal per season and you can't protect him because you got no money left and you just end up screwing yourself, he gets injured and then you have nothing. Yeah, maybe he holds out, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe you bring in Kirk Cousins, who will be released. And can I get a show of hands of people that if they were in a GM position would sign Kirk Cousins to a mega deal after what you just saw, knowing he's 37 years old? This man went from getting $100 million guaranteed, which he'll get $100 million guaranteed, to now what? Probably getting a very small 1-year deal. So maybe Shanahan brings in Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal and still keeps Purdy. Obviously, you're not going to trade him. Maybe he re-signs Purdy and brings in Kirk Cousins just to have the position backed up. Some coaches are worried about that. Who the hell knows? Some coaches really fear having a good quarterback behind their quarterback. That's why they dump Fields in Chicago, so they don't have anything over because Caleb's not good enough to fend off Justin Fields. If you draft somebody number 1 overall and they can't hold off another quarterback, that person should not have been drafted number 1 overall. So getting rid of a Fields is stupidity, especially at the cost you got. You didn't get anything. You got a ham sandwich and it was lukewarm. Had half of the bread gone. And you didn't get anything for Justin Fields. You should have kept him. And if that scared Caleb Williams, that terrified him like it terrified Tyler, then you didn't draft the right player. So if I'm a coach, I'm not scared about bringing Kirk Cousins in. Purdy, toughen up. Get ready for the real world, pal. Because you're always going to have a backup. Why wouldn't you want your backup to be the guy you've always wanted to sign? There's still a chance. I think the only chance he goes there, though, is if his market value is nothing. And it could be. I don't think anybody's going to be sitting here going, oh, yeah, get him in. Let's sign him to a big mega contract. Right, Denny? He's crapped the bed. He's getting released because he's not delivering. Maybe they brought him back to Minnesota. Because think about it. It's weird. But you bring him back to Minnesota and you tell him, look, you're going to compete with J.J. McCarthy. But he knows that system. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think there are going to be a lot of starting jobs for him. They're really only after when this NFL draft kicks off and Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward land with LV in New York, whichever one goes where, you really don't have a lot of teams that need Kirk Cousins at all. We're looking at the AFC here. You got Cleveland. They're married to Deshaun Watson, and there's reports that they're already saying he is our quarterback when he returns from injury. But he won't be able to fend off injury. He'll be a very risky, player. So they will want to bring somebody in. So Kirk Cousins to Cleveland, that's possible. And Kirk might have to, if he wants to play, maybe he retires. If he wants to play, he has to console himself in the idea that he can't just be the lone starter. He might have to compete, and this is a cloudy situation in Cleveland. You've got the Raiders will have one of the rookies. None of these teams in the top row here need a QB unless Miami Mike McDaniel says, hey, let's back up Tua Tagovailoa. You got nobody at this top region. You got New York. You've got Tennessee. So Tennessee, New York, and maybe Cleveland. That's 3 teams in the AFC that need a quarterback. Over in the NFC side of things, you've got maybe Minnesota. If they don't believe in J.J. McCarthy fully, they try and bring him in, like I said, so it's a possibility there. But I think they retain Darnold. I think they signed Darnold to a mega contract, and everybody says, oh my God, just like they did the inverse of what everybody said about Atlanta. But I think they do that. The Saints need a QB, so Cousins, just typical, right? Derek Carr, Winston. Let's go to 37-year-old Kirk Cousins. This seems like a total Saints thing to do. You can just have him fail there, and that's where he throws his last pass in the middle of a season, and then he's out of there. So the Saints are a possibility. The Niners a small possibility. The Vikings a small possibility. Seattle doesn't have a quarterback necessarily, in my opinion, so maybe they bring him in there and just have him either compete or whatever. You've got we know Chicago might need one, but they're not going to admit that. They're not going to acknowledge that, and everybody in here is going to call that crazy. But they have a rookie. Like, they're going to give him another 3 years, But keep in mind how quickly the Bears moved on from Justin Fields. How many years until Caleb Williams is playing for another team? Answer that question for me. This guy that wanted ownership of the team. He's like, if you draft me, I should have ownership. You're not going to be there in 3 or 4 years, bro. I guess there's no conflict of interest. Cardinals, quite honestly, I might trade Kyler Murray for Cousins, or bring Cousins in as a free agent and sign him behind Kyler because Kyler's trash. New York's going to have a rookie. That's it. It's the Saints, the Seahawks, maybe the Niners, maybe the Vikings, maybe the Browns, the Jets, the Titans. Those are your teams that need quarterbacks. So Kirk Cousins doesn't have like the biggest market in the world, but that's enough teams that he could land somewhere, is very possible. Let me go on to the rest of the news. Hang tight there, Denny, real quickly. Let me just get through this real quickly. We got this from Schefter. This is all kind of the big stuff that's happened over the last hour. Tony Pollard listed as questionable for Sunday due to the ankle injury. Is expected to play in Week 16 versus the Colts. So there goes all the Spears. What if Spears is the lone starter? Who should I start him over? Tony Pollard's a pretty good play, too. I'm not scared of playing him just because Spears is in the picture. Spears was always in the picture, really, so there's nothing of concern there. He's a good play. Tyrone Tracy listed as questionable for Sunday due to an ankle, is expected to play, but he's still in a committee of sorts, and the Falcons should rout the Giants. You never know. That's why we play the game. And I think that he'll get game scripted out a little bit. Devin Singletary's already getting some work. Tyreek Hill listed as questionable for Sunday with a wrist injury, which is really the torn ligament in his wrist that's not going to wait till he has surgery unless they're lying about it because he's, I don't know. It's total speculation. I'm not saying he is, but if maybe he's, the whole arrest situation, he's trying to do something with that. I don't know. So maybe his wrist is bad. Maybe it isn't bad. I don't know. We have no idea. But anyway, personal, questionable. He's questionable with a personal and wrist designation, is expected to play against the 49ers. So the personal isn't keeping him out, but what is the personal? And he could have had a death in the family or something like that. I'm not trying to say that's not possible, but with all the tweets he's been sending out, he's not dormant right now going through something crazy that he's not talking to the media and he's going through something really tough in his life. He's out there tweeting like crazy going, maybe I'll just become a head coach now, as if his career's over. His tweets on X are essentially saying like, my career might be over. I don't know if he's trying to troll people that are saying you're done, you're washed, and he's saying, oh, I must be so bad, I might as well become a coach. Maybe he's placating that, and that could be the case for sure. But why was he questionable with a personal designation while he's in the middle of tweeting all these humorous tweets? So clearly he's not struggling in his life right now. There's nothing crazy going on because he's out there making a fool of himself on X. I don't know, but he is playing according to reports, and with Waddle out, it's a really good play. But I have concerns, and I obviously have some long-term concerns as well. No doubt about it. 100%. Tyler, thank God Tyler's back because I needed some clarification on this. Tyler said personal can mean anything from team to family. Thank you, Tyler. Good God, Tyler with the save. I don't know what we do if Tyler wasn't here to translate stuff that I just didn't understand. Thank you for fantasy splaining me, Tyler. Commanders, Zach Ertz listed as questionable for Sunday due to a concussion injury, trending toward playing. That's a tight end grab you can get if you need it. Tyler with the nice move. I mean, damn, I didn't know where to go with that until I saw Tyler's update. What are we doing here? Okay, let me, Tyler deserves, I can't read that. Some of you guys are hilarious. Okay. Panthers wide receiver Jalen Coker listed as questionable for Sunday due to a quad injury. Is expected to play versus the Cardinals. So that's good news if you've got him. He's a pretty sneaky play. We got some other news. I want to go over this real quick. Look, Patrick Mahomes looked really good. He looked really good. 28 of 41. Maybe not the best completion, but he looked solid. He had a scramble where it looked like he kind of re-injured his ankle for a second, and we're like, oh, and then he just got up and he was fine. Then he scrambled for a long touchdown run that was tough. It was a tough run, just showing so much grit. And everybody could say he's faking this or faking that. He's never once faked an injury. You guys are out of your minds. That anti-Mahomes people out there, they're absolutely ludicrous. All these claims, everyone just hates the winners. Everybody hated Tom Brady the same way. Tom Brady and Mahomes get so much hatred because he's beating all of your teams out there, and you have to talk trash about the guy who's one of the most humble and cool players in the National Football League. He has a crazy family, no doubt about it, but this guy's humble. Whenever a player's injured on the other side of the fence on the other team, he's literally like calling the referee over. He cares about everybody in the league, and people wish injury upon him. And people say things like, "Oh, Smitty, this guy's faking it," or what was the thing today that was pissing me off? People were just writing a bunch of hate toward this guy. Oh, there's a lot of people saying that forward pass was a fumble. It was not. His arm was going forward to the letter of the law and the way the NFL works. Stop trying to look for stuff. Stop acting like the referees are winning these games for Patrick Mahomes and the KC Chiefs. It's ridiculous. He's on his way to a 3-peat. What's everyone going to say when he gets there? The referees won 3 in a row, not Patrick Mahomes. You can hate on him all you want. He looked fantastic in this game. And if you started him, look, 260, 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 running, I believe is about 30 yards. That's a good day. That's about 2.5 touchdowns when you factor in that rushing yardage. Like, that's the way he scored. Like a 200 and, what did I say his yardage was? He passed for 260 and literally like 2.5 touchdowns when you kind of convert that rushing total over and just say how many points did he score. That's a good game. Is it like the question that I got all week, Penix Jr or Mahomes? Mahomes is safer. Mahomes will get you 2 touchdowns and 250 is what I said. That's exactly what he got. 260 and 2. Penix Jr will get you either put your head down, and I will as well, because I'm loving Penix Jr this week. I'm starting him in a few leagues, and I'm not going to apologize if it doesn't work out. It is a fun, smart, high risk, high reward play. But he could get you 10 points. He could get you 5 points. He could get you, I don't know, he could get hurt right away. Who the hell knows? Or he could score you 40 points, 35 points, depending on your format. 3 to 4 touchdowns against the New York Giants. Who knows? You've got to make the decision for yourself if you're starting Penix Jr. I can't make that decision for you. And nor can you blame anybody else if it goes awry, because it is a high risk, the definition of a high risk, high reward play. Saints ruled out Alvin Kamara, groin, and QB Derek Carr for Week 16. I have a sneaky suspicion, even though there are only 2 regular season games left, they're going to put them on IR right away. If they don't do it before the game, I assume they'll do it next week, but I believe Kamara will go on IR. They have nothing to play for. They don't want to, they just signed him to a long-term, or not a long-term, an extension, and I don't think they want to injure him. Xavier Worthy's coming into his own. Can we give Xavier Worthy a nice round of applause? I know he's disappointed on the year, but he was a good sneaky play this week, and he did good. I'm sorry, Denny, I forgot you were there. What's your comment on Worthy? You've been excellent. Good boy, Denny. Good boy. You've been quiet. You've been sitting there letting me get through the news. Go ahead.
You said once I came in, this is my boy. Because we got to talk about some other issues later on that I don't agree with.
How do you like Worthy? How do you like Worthy?
We got issues about Cousins, bro.
Okay. We were just talking about it. You were singing songs about Penix Jr. and now all of a sudden you're against it?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think you're going too hard on Penix and kind of like Cousins.
Okay.
And
let me ask you a question, Denny. How many touchdowns has Kirk Cousins had over the last 5 games?
Probably 0 because I have him. How many has Penix had?
He's about to have more in one half of football, maybe 1/4 of football than Kirk Cousins has had over five games. Not to mention the team benched him, Denny. Kirk Cousins hasn't had a touchdown until last week. He hadn't had a touchdown for 4 straight games, bro. How many interceptions has Kirk Cousins had over the last 5 games?
I'd say
Take a guess. 9. 9, Denny.
Not good.
Okay, so I don't understand what you're arguing here. Not to mention you've been singing Penix Jr.'s praises. I think you're just trying to appease me, apparently. But you don't believe in Penix Jr.? You believe Kirk Cousins?
I love you. Dude, I love you. But I just...
What?
I don't like this thing you're doing, with Cousins. What? Okay, what is it? The Falcons did. What did they do? They gave him... How much of a contract did they give him? How much did they spend on him?
$100 million guaranteed. So it's $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed, Denny, and he has a $10 million split. What?
Sweetie, what was the next move?
They drafted his replacement.
Drafted. Not some lineman. Not let's help him. It was a stupid move.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. If you want to say a move was dumb, it was signing Kirk Cousins. If you want to call one of the moves dumb. Drafting Penix Jr. wasn't dumb. Kirk Cousins isn't him anymore. Denny's 37 years old next year.
So let's just go back to the future, okay?
Okay.
And we'll go all the way back to the, signing that contract. Why would they do that?
Okay, Denny, let me make something abundantly clear to you. We can argue until the end of time whether signing Kirk Cousins was dumb or smart. Clearly, it was dumb at the end of the day. Hold on. Clearly, it was dumb at the end of the day. But when it happened, we could argue back and forth about what was the dumb part. Was it drafting Penix Jr.? Was it signing Kirk Cousins? Back then, it was a debate. Okay, but now it's no longer a debate. Drafting Penix Jr. might save their season. Drafting Penix Jr. might send them to the playoffs. Drafting Penix Jr. was clearly the smart move. Signing Kirk Cousins to a $180 million deal, $100 million guaranteed, was now clear as day the dumb move. But was it dumb at the time? They didn't know. They wanted to secure the QB room. They had the money to blow. Like, who cares about? If they want to blow the money, they want to blow the money. They wanted to give their fan base no equivocation, the absolute best quarterback they could put on the field so they could win a championship this year. Not saying they will. I'm saying that's in their mind. They want to win a championship. They miscalculated that Cousins was healthy. But what are you arguing that Cousins should still be the starter, Denny?
No.
So what are you talking about?
Well, wouldn't you back him up? Won't you back him up, Smitty? You know?
Okay. No. The answer is no. The answer is no. I'm not backing him up. He isn't doing anything. He's holding back Bijan. He's holding back Drake London. He's holding back Kyle Pitts. He's holding back every fantasy football asset on that roster. You want me to back up Kirk Cousins, who's turning 37 years old next year, who's going to be released after he just signed a $180 million deal? Penix Jr. is the guy, bro. And if you remember back in January, before the national championship game, I put him on the Saturn men list, and I said, I'm not taking him off no matter how he does. He went out, played badly according to everybody, and I said, I'm not moving. I'm not budging.
But why would you give him all that money and then draft another quarterback? What are you, stupid?
Okay, all right, Denny.
I'm getting mad. I'm getting angry, man.
Okay, Denny, mute yourself, because this argument's going nowhere. You have absolutely no argument here. Mute yourself. Hold on one second. Worthy, 7 of 11, 65, and a touchdown. He looked fantastic. Worthy looked fantastic. Could have had 3 TDs in this game. It was unbelievable. If you had him, congratulations. He did well. Worthy was solid. I believe he's at 22 targets, 23 targets over the last 2 games. And everybody that says he was a bust, he'll never do anything, he's progressing, or has been progressing slowly, and he looks fantastic right now. So you can either hate on Worthy if you want, or you can get on the train. This is a sad moment. I feel like we should hit the Tank Deli button just for Tank Dell and tribute. Guy goes out and has, what do you have? It was a touchdown and I think 90 something yards. It was looking fantastic, and dislocated, we believe, his kneecap. Now, what happens on a dislocated kneecap situation is your kneecap is literally, like, you could think of it like sutured, by God onto the patellar tendon, or the kneecap is behind it. It's connected. It goes over the top. It's essentially connected, at birth, right? It's like you could imagine it feeling like it's sewn into that patellar tendon. Now, there's a shelf right here, and that kneecap fits right in there. If you remember Mahomes' kneecap popped out like that, out of that little shelf, a little area that it just rests in, And when it popped out, Mahomes has popped out. This is a couple years ago. What they do is they take it and they pop it back in. And it can't do that unless you stretch it. So Mahomes' patellar tendon was stretched a little bit to get it in that spot. Now it can tighten back up. But the concern is when a player comes back from what Mahomes had, that tightening hasn't happened yet, or that the lax in the patellar tendon is so much that this thing will just pop right out again, and then you're going to have problems. That ended up tightening back up, and Mahomes ended up being okay. Now, dislocated kneecap is different than what Mahomes exactly had, but you have so much concern here. Could it be torn? I snapped my patellar tendon right here, right below where the kneecap is, and my kneecap was floating into my lower thigh, and then the bottom part of the patellar tendon, which snapped in half, coiled down and retracted down here. Then they went straight into surgery that night because the patellar tendon is something you can't wait on. Unlike another injury, like if you injure your ACL and you have a bunch of swelling, you want to make sure the swelling goes down before you do any surgery. There's no urgency to go in there. Hang on, Denny. There's no urgency to get in there and create a new ACL and get that done within days. Your patellar tendon will shrink, and then you'll have problems where that thing won't be stretched out enough, and it'll be tight, and you'll have to work on that rehab. It'll be a much tougher process. This patellar tendon, the kneecap, everything involved in here is a very serious injury, and we'll see what happens. But damn, it's scary. It's scary. Tank Dell, hopefully he's okay. Prayers up.
Sorry for your doubles.
What?
Sorry for your double, Tank.
Yeah. Denny, do you have any? You said you had another problem with me. What was the other problem?
I was in the Marine Corps, and I did this run, and it was boots and utes, they called it. Shutty up. Oh, don't get mad at me. And we had boots, and I came in
all right,
second.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Denny, I gotta move quicker than that. Hang tight.
No.
Hurry.
You?
Hurry.
Smitty.
Go. Denny, I got a show to do. This is why I hang up on people. I move the callers along. I know how much time we've had dead air for. Like, I can't have a story about. I can't even understand what you're saying, but we were wearing boots or something.
Wow.
Speed it up. I love you, pal.
Bad.
I love you. Go.
All right, I love you too, but man, you're kind of getting weird here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all right. We're practically family. Go ahead.
No, okay. You apparently you don't like Cousins.
Okay. All right, Denny, hang tight. I got to get through the rest of this news. Hang tight. I'll come back to you when we have the phone lines open. Just sit right there, mute yourself. Justice Hill, concussion. This started out to be a pretty good situation. He looked very utilized, and he suffered a concussion on like a big, huge play. I want to say it was like a 15, 20-yard play or something like that, and he suffered a brutal concussion right on the sideline, and then he was out for the rest of the game. It was a brutal blow for anybody that had Justice Hill in there. It was looking to be a very nice start, a very sneaky play, and then the concussion kind of took him out. All right, I got all those super chats done, all those pieces of news off the docket. We got Malcolm with a $20 hauler. Since Denny's on the phone, I'm gonna play the $50 hauler for Malcolm anyway, just so Denny can hear himself sing.
$50. Give me $50. Get better,
Thank you, Denny, for that. I appreciate that. This is Aaron, my other account. Hold on, my other account. Whatever. Can you do a quick rundown of the Minnesota at Seattle game, the Cleveland at Cincinnati game, the LAR at New York game? Damn, you want me to do a whole show? Malcolm's requesting a whole damn show. Key players and that's a lot to go over. That's a lot. That's a lot to go over. In general, I'm just gonna say, can you do a a entire mock draft around drafting quarterback, running back, wide receiver, then draft wide receiver, running back, quarterback. Then, okay, we'll try here. But good Lord, the request's got to be reasonable.
Yeah, he did that for me. That's for me.
Denny. Okay, hold on, Denny. Hang tight. Minnesota at Seattle. Weather concerns. Both running backs on the Seattle Seahawks are playing, so it's going to be a tough thing to predict. I probably play Walker over Sharp, or I know I play Walker over Sharps, unless we hear something in the morning that makes us pull away from that. DK Metcalf, I think he has a bounce back game, 80 yards and a touch. I think JSN, 80 and a touch potentially, which means Geno could have 2 touchdowns, but he could also have 2-3 interceptions, and that be the only 2 touchdowns he has. But I wouldn't say I'd lock in both JSN and DK for scores. Maybe one of them has like 100 yards and like 8 receptions or 95 yards, and the other one has 70 yards and a touchdown. But I think both will be pretty good plays. Doesn't mean I want to start Geno. Now, there is some weather concerns that could dial a lot of that back, and it could make Walker more relevant. So let's hit the weather in the morning. Minnesota Vikings, if there's a lot of weather, that could also hurt and impede on the fantasy production of JJ and Addison. Right. Denny, call back when I open the phone lines, Denny. It's just too much groveling and moaning, and I can't concentrate. Cleveland at Cincinnati. So I'm starting Addison. I love Addison this week, unless you've got, I guess like a DK Addison would be a good comparable. Cooper Kupp I'd start over Addison, and I know a lot of people are giving up on Cooper Kupp. We'll get there in a second. I got to go quicker on this. Malcolm, this is just too much for a super chat. I definitely love JJ. I think Ford is a safe play. I think obviously you love your Bengal players there. I think Jamar Chase is 100 and a touchdown. Higgins has 80 and a score. Joe Burrow has 3 TDs at least. And Chase Brown has 100 total yards and a good shot at a touchdown. LAR, that side, Kyron, 100 and a score. Cooper Kupp, 80 and a touch. Puka Nacua, 100 yards and 10 receptions. They'll call it no touchdowns. Maybe Kupp gets the touchdown. I don't know that we're going to see a potential huge game from Stafford. It's a tough defense, but I like them. Breece Hall, 100 total yards and a touchdown. Adams and Garrett Wilson, I can't tell you both will go off. I think one of them has like a 90-yard and a touchdown game. The other might have 80, 90 yards. Let's see. Philly, Washington. I'd probably say something like Hurts has, we'll call it 3 total touchdowns, 1 or 2 on the ground, 1 passing to A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith has 80 yards on 6 receptions. Barkley has 110 and a touchdown. And then Washington, JD5 has 3 TDs, 1 running, 1 or 2 running, the other 1 or 2 passing. 240 yards, 1 INT, and 45 yards rushing. McLaurin has 70 at least in a touch. Brian Robinson, 90 total yards. That's going to be my prediction on that one. And then thank you, Malcolm. Appreciate you. Malcolm with the $20 holler. Good Lord. Denny, be quiet while I go through these, or I will hang up because I need to concentrate. I got a lot to go through here. Full PPR, pick 2. Tracy Kendrick. What? Kendrick. Patrick Taylor, thanks. I don't know who Kendrick is. I'm gonna all right. Denny, that's it. All right. I don't know who Kendrick is. Patrick Taylor and Tracy, I don't know who. Does anybody know who Kendrick is? Who the hell's Kendrick? Who the hell's Kendrick? Kendre Miller? McMiller? Is that McMiller? Give me Tracy's questionable but going to play, according to the report I just read today. So I'd probably say I'd go Tracy and Patrick Taylor. I don't trust Kendre McMiller, as we call him here on the channel. TP, appreciate you. TP says, Kincaid. Denny, I'm not answering. You don't listen. I have to get through these super chats. The phone lines are never open. You should feel very, very fortunate that your boy answers the phone when the phone lines are closed for you. But you blew your chance to sit on the phone line. Kincaid, Strange, Reed, Ford. going to go Strange, and I'm going to go Reed. And I know, no, Ford for safety, Reed for high risk, high reward. Ford for safety. You want safety, go Ford. You want high risk, high reward. You're down, you're projected to lose, you need a big swing. Then you probably roll with Reed because he's got that upside. Start Achane or BTJ. Achane, but I want both of them in there. You got to get both of them in there. TP, Denny, call in when I'm opening the phone lines. I'm not saying I won't pick up for you, but I can't pick up during Super Chats. I never do it for anybody. I did it for you, and you couldn't shut your mouth. So now we gotta have you off the phone line. Ertz playing, may drop someone to grab another tight end. Ertz is playing, or projected to play by Adam Schefter, but it depends on who's available. TP. I mean, I have to know who's the alternative. You know what I'm saying? This one's from JD5 himself. 2 different questions. First, start. Start McManus. I guess McManus. I don't know. That the kicker question. Go with whoever's outscoring the other one on the year, because right now we have a good set, baseline, and every kicking scoring can be different. But I go McManus as long as is he good to go. Make sure he's good to go. But start JMO or Washington guy on Miami. Malik Washington. Go JMO. Come on, bro. Like, I think Washington could be sneaky, but we're not sitting JMO for a just flat, a maybe flash in the pan week. I like his future. He's pretty intriguing, but like, come on, he's not even there yet. Start McManus or McLaughlin. I guess McLaughlin. McLaughlin's a pretty good play, but kickers are pretty. I don't even talk about kickers much at all, bro. I start on averages. What is the average? Who's doing better on the year? You clearly have a good baseline. You got to go with the averages at this point. It's kind of like baseball. Baseball is all averages. Well, kicking is very, very similar. Once you get into a certain place, you don't really change from that average. Start at flex. Kenneth Walker, Jamo Williams, or Dobbs. I'm going to go Jamo for higher risk, higher reward. Walker for safety because he's probably going to get pretty good volume. I think I'd probably go. I think we look at the news. If the news says Walker's going to get a full workload, we go Walker. But if we don't hear that, if we're still like in the dark on it, I'd probably go JMO. But only if we're in the dark on it. Jordan Love or Penix Jr. Richardson. Penix Jr. for me, but it's a high-risk, high-reward play. You got to know what you're dealing with. Love is a very solid play, assuming the weather is going to be okay, and there's some chances of some, like, flurries. But Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Malik Neighbors, Bucky, and Juwan Jennings start 3. McLaurin, you can't sit. London, you can't sit. And Bucky, I couldn't sit. Bucky and Neighbors is your dilemma. Chat, vote on Bucky or Neighbors. Neighbors or Bucky. Please vote in the chat. Start Baker or JD5 this week. I'm going to go with JD5, although both are very, very close. What's up, Dicebo? Appreciate you. Love or Penix? I answered that. Penix is my guy. I'm going Penix Jr., but Love is a very solid play if the weather allows, but that's Monday, so you might not even have an update in time, so I'm going Penix Jr. Do I start DK, Thielen, or McMillan in my wide receiver 2 spot? McMillan's a higher risk, higher reward play, even though he's been consistent in the last 2 games, but he's at 3 TDs in 2 games. I'm going to go DK personally. I wish I could get McMillan in there too, though. It is a tough call. McMillan's high risk, high reward if you're down and you need a big swing, but DK's got huge upside, and I know he's failed people, but I'm not sitting. A Merry Christmas, Smitty. I would like to nominate Chase Brown as this year's fantasy darling MVP. Drafted him in so many leagues, rounds 10 to 12. Yeah, he's a fantastic player, bro. Appreciate you, my boy. Bowers, McBride, Bucky, AJB, McLaurin, sit 1. I'm probably sitting McBride or Bowers. I probably start Bowers with O'Connell playing now, so I guess I sit McBride. Unless AJB looks any sort of iffy in the morning. Like there's like, he's going to give it a go. Like there's something like that, we're running from that. If it's like he's going to play, there's no question marks, then I think I'd probably sit McBride just because of Kyler, Walker or ETN, give me Walker all day long unless we hear some bad news in the morning. Would you start Pat Taylor over Breece Hall, JT Debo? No, I would not start. Over Over Debo maybe. But that's your dilemma. You're not even thinking about sitting Breece Hall. Cousins' agent should be in the Hall of Fame. That's a very, very accurate statement. Good one. Brandon, appreciate you traded Lamar and James Conner for Josh Allen and Cooper when Cooper joined the Bills. Drop Cooper now, but Allen league winner. Do you dig best? Do you dig best ball by the way? Do I dig best ball by the way? We do best ball all the time in here, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Appreciate you, Brandon. Yeah, Josh Allen's been a freaking MVP. I do think this week Lamar and Connor is going to help that owner, but so could Josh Allen. But that's going to be a really good week because Connor's a must start this week. But long term, especially though, if that's some sort of dynasty league, I don't know if it is. If it isn't, no worries. But love Josh Allen. Number one quarterback every single year. Number one or number two every single year. Now Lamar's number one right now, but Josh could pass him. But H.N. Brown, AJB, and Garrett Wilson. Who should I put in the flex? Who should I put in the flex? Brian Thomas Jr., Thielen, Walker. Brian Thomas Jr. for me. QB Murray or Stafford. I'm going to probably go Stafford, but I hate that question. I want Penix Jr. instead of both of them. McLaurin, Jennings, Garrett Wilson, pick 2. Probably going to sit Jennings, but that's a tough call. I mean, that could go 100 different ways, bro. J-Mo or Adam Thielen. I'm going to go J-Mo all day long. I love J-Mo. Appreciate you. Pick 2, Aaron Jones, Garrett Wilson, and Kupp, Bucky. I'm going to go Kupp and Bucky, but that's me. Atlanta Bengals. Love both of them this week. Bengals are a good play against the Cleveland Browns right here at the top of the screen, but I think the Falcons against the Giants with the buzz around Penix Jr. Kind of think the Atlanta Falcons D is the way to go this week, but very, very close call. You can't go wrong either way. I mean, one will outscore the other most likely, but I just mean preemptively, you're not making a mistake going either one. PPR, Flex, Patrick Taylor, Tracy Hawkinson, Strange, Dobbs. I'm gonna go Patrick Taylor. I think the volume will be there, and Kyle does not usually rotate his RBs. I'm a little concerned this will be the time he does it, but I'm still starting him. I'm not hesitating. Patrick Taylor or McMillan. I'm gonna go Patrick Taylor. If you want safety, McMillan if you need a big swing, high upside, high reward play. He's got 3 TDs in 2 weeks, but, you know, he has a chance of, like, vanishing, too, because that's the way, you know, rookies play. But Patrick Taylor, I mean, it's not like he's experienced either, you know, but I think if you want safety, go Taylor. Should be a good, consistent volume for him, but high risk, high reward. It's McMillan, Brock Bowers, or Kittle. I'd probably go... Guys, Kittle or Bowers? I'd probably go Bowers with O'Connell playing. McMillan or Mooney. Mixon screwed me, says Mike. Yeah, Mixon definitely just... This is why 29-year-old running backs are a concern, you know. I mean, there's always going to be risk. And, you know, anybody that said, oh, you shouldn't have talked down Mixon earlier in the season, what I should have done is said draft him, play him, then trade him mid-season. You know, but at the end of the day, he failed, you know. So it's like, was it that bad of a call? It was a bad early call, but it ended up being right, you know, at the end of the day. Mixon, but I will admit, I liked Mixon this week. I mean, I didn't love him, but you had to play him. Like, Mixon carried you here. You had to take the chance, Mike. You had to. It was not your fault. You had to take the chance that Mixon was going to have a good day. You couldn't walk away from that when he carried you here. But there's a lot of risk in Mixon being 29. McMillan or Mooney. And Mixon could do good next week. I mean, it's certainly possible. McMillan or Mooney. I'm going to go Mooney for safety, McMillan for high risk, high reward for all the reasons I've said for McMillan being risky, you know, and vanishing. Whereas Mooney, you don't really know what the rapport is going to be between him and Penix Jr. But start one, Addison or Hill. I'm going to go Addison for safety, Hill for high upside, big swing. You're down. You need a big, huge amount of points. Addison, if you're projected to be about the same as the other owner right now, and it's a close race, Addison's a good play. Usually I'd go Hill, but feeling uncertain this week, yeah, I'm definitely. The thing is, if you need anything at all, like a big swing, Waddle's out, and Tyreek Hill is going to potentially get force-fed. However, with Waddle being out, maybe the Niners just absolutely ravage Tua and the Dolphins, and they don't do anything at all. You know, and mix in the fact that Hill's been banged up. I think it's a good play if you need a big swing and you're willing to risk the biscuit and say, hey, if you're not first, you're last. But if you are steady Eddie this week, you just, you know, need to get by, get to that next round, then, you know, play the safe route. Start Marv, B-Rob, or Rashad. I'd probably go Rashad White is probably the safe move. B-Rob's not bad. Marv's risky, but always like him, but he's super risky. B-Rob or Addison. I go Addison. I very much like Addison this week. Rodgers or Penix Jr. Penix Jr. I've said it all week long. Pick one. Harrison, Downs, McMillan. Give me McMillan in this group for high risk, high reward. Give me Harrison for a little bit safer call, but he's still high risk to a degree because of Kyler. Last flex, Keenan, Jacoby Myers, ETN. Give me Keenan Allen, assuming he's healthy and there's no weird news in the morning, but we'll be here to talk about it. Pick, I believe you're saying 1, B-Rob, Tracy, Patrick Taylor, Kendre Miller. I'll say Patrick Taylor for me, and then probably Kendre Miller for safety, Tracy for higher risk, higher reward. I get the Tracy Kendre question a lot. I mean, B-Rob's maybe a little safer than both of them. Maybe you go Patrick Taylor, and then if you need another, you go B-Rob, actually. But I go Patrick Taylor out of all of them if you need just one. Thanks for all your help this year, PPR. No problem, Johnny. K9 with the weather or Thielen. I'm going to go K9. I don't trust Thielen at 95 years old. I'm a heavy favorite, if that helps. I'd probably go Walker. I think Walker's a nice play. He's off the injury report. We can't assume he's going to be banged up unless we get new news in the morning that suggests otherwise. Start 2, full PPR. Downs, Debo, Strange, Spears, Sharps. I'm going to go with Debo and Spears, I suppose. Unless we hear something positive about Charbonnet's workload, like he's going to get half the work, then I probably go Sharps. But we have to hear that. DJ Moore got 26... full PPR against the Lions last game. McLaurin got 2 last game. He faces Philly. Smitty would like to hear your take on why Terry over DJ Moore. Because I don't care about what 1 week is telling us. The historical data can help you, but you could also say last time McLaurin faced the Eagles, JD5 was having a very, very tough time with the ribs, and he had a bad game. JD5 did not do well in that game, so how can we expect McLaurin to do well? Now, if you predict JD5 to be bad in this game, thus McLaurin not getting the volume, then I would agree with you. But I'm not somebody that clings to the fact that last time these teams met with a rookie quarterback and a player like McLaurin, who's been as consistent as can be, and he's never had a consistent quarterback before in his life. There's not a lot of historical data with this. You can't just use last week, this or last week that when you're dealing with a situation like this. It's evolving, revolving, maturing, injury that's now in the past in the rear view, and JD5 looking phenomenal again. Buffalo D or Atlanta? Give me Buffalo with the weather, even though Atlanta is an attractive D. Brandon, appreciate your super chat. I played the Lamar and James Conner manager. I traded with, beat him 150 to 144. Josh Allen, 50 bomb to secure the dub at the best time ever. Nice job, Brandon. Congrats on that, my boy. Now, Denny, the phone lines are open. Is Denny in here? Hopefully Denny's not in here talking like smack or something. Let me just read what Denny's been saying. Denny. Oh, that's another Denny. Okay, Denny, call in. You're okay to call in right now, unless you're so upset right now. Denny to the moon. Denny, phone lines are open unless he might have passed out. He probably only had so much time. That's why he kept dialing. He's like, Smitty, we got 5 minutes before I flame out here. This is Mo. Mo from Illinois. You're live, Mo. What can I do for you?
Hello.
Mo from Illinois. You're live.
Yeah.
All right, Mo. You got to be prepared, Mo. You got to be prepared. You're calling in the big time, bro. This is not some Mickey Mouse show. You got to have your paper ready to go that you're reading off. I mean, come on, guys.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Mo, you can try it again. You can run it back. Run it back, Mo. I believe in you. Let's see here. I play Devontae Adams right now, even if he was out, says Charles. Charles, that's weird. Like, Adams has not been balling out all year to that degree where you could just say that because he had a big day in week, 15. That's weird, Charles. Devontae Smith, Terry, Addison, start 2. I'm going to go Devontae Smith, Terry, Addison, start 2. I'm going to go I'm going to go Terry for sure. And I don't know, bro. That last one, Devontae Smith is nice. Addison is nice. I like them both. I'd probably go Devontae Smith, I guess, but that is a very, very, very close call. And I'll probably waver on that all night long. Probably all night long. If Denny were here, he could sing all night long. It would be perfect. 806, what is your name and where are you calling from? 806, you're live.
This is Tony from Texas.
Tony from Texas. What can I do for you, bro?
Yeah, so it's a 1-point PPR. I need to decide between Deshaun or Devontae Smith or Jacoby Myers.
Devontae Smith for me. I mean, anything could happen. I'm not saying Myers is trash. It's a good play. I mean, he's a good player. But give me Devontae Smith. He's got rapport with Hurts right now. He's playing well. I like Devontae Smith a lot. Anything can happen though.
Okay, thank you, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. 630. What's your name and where are you calling from? 630. You're live.
Dan calling from Chicago. I got standard scoring. I'm trying to pick between.
What's your name, bro?
Dan.
Dan from Chicago. All right, Dan. I'm sorry about your Bears, bro.
So I'm trying to go between. Yeah, thank you. Judy, Thielen, or McMillan.
Judy, Thielen, McMillan. Give me McMillan. I would say Judy if Winston was still in there. You know what I mean? But we don't know what we're looking at there. I like Judy a lot still. I still play him. But McMillan's got 3 TDs in 2 games, bro. And we loved McMillan in the offseason. You guys remember what I said about McMillan? That if McMillan was drafted to the Bengals instead of Burton, when Burton was getting so much hype, and we haven't seen Burton at all. Burton's like a groundhog. He's come out once this year. And we don't know what Burton looks like. But remember when I said McMillan's probably better than Burton if McMillan landed in Cincinnati, and everyone's like, no, what are you talking about? I love McMillan. We've loved McMillan. He's finally doing it, and he's doing it live, bro. Mo, call in again. I told you I'd give you another shot.
And then what about Jonnu Smith or Laporta for a score?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If it rained 90 times out of 91, and you were in like a rainy area, like wouldn't you assume it would rain again the next day? Like, what are we doing with Jonnu? Why would we sit Jonnu Smith?
I know. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like he's a number 1 tight end in fantasy football the last month or so or more, and he's top 3 overall. He's been going crazy. I didn't even hear who your option was, but say it again. Jonnu and who? I couldn't even get past that.
Laporta.
Yeah, I like Laporta, bro. I like Laporta a lot, but this is not a conversation you can have. You put Jonnu in and you say thank you. You don't mess around with that. All right, bro.
All right. Thank you so much.
Later. Charles, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, how are you doing?
I'm good, Charles.
Hey, I need one running back. I have Walker.
Yeah.
Ryan Robinson Jr. Kendra Miller or Jerome Ford.
Ford is probably the most unattractive, non-sexy play, but like your safest. You know, is Mo mad? Someone says, I feel you, Mo, but Smitty put me in chat jail before. It's all love, callback. Is Mo mad? Hold on a second. Mo, you really got to take it this hard? Where's Mo? Let me see. Maybe you're just assuming Mo's taking it hard. Is he actually typing? I don't see him. Does anybody know if we're just assuming Mo is mad? Maybe Mo, call back. Can somebody tell me, is Mo actually mad, or are we just guessing? All right, go ahead, bro. What are you saying?
No, shoot. So Ford would be the.
Are you actually typing?
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. 440. Call him without background noise next time, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Charles. Go ahead.
So go ahead and do Ford.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Ford is your safe, not crafty, just very bland answer. And your other options were who? It was Mo. It was Mo. It was it was Ford. Name him again. Ford.
Walker, Ford,
yeah,
Kendra Miller,
Kendra Willer. Give me Walker
or Brian Robinson Jr.
I'm gonna go Walker unless we hear something really bad in the morning. You know what I mean? Like Walker is probably. I mean, look.
I called like 9 times. What happened?
Is this Mo interrupting? Mo, you're on fire, bro. You're on fire. Hang tight, Mo. I'm in the middle of a conversation with Charles. All right, hang tight.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'll wait.
It happens. It happens. So anyway, Charles, I would go Walker, but I think Ford is a nice, safe play, though. Chat, can we vote on Ford, Brian Robinson Jr., or Walker? I'm going to say Walker, but check in the morning. We'll definitely be talking about it if there's something negative. Something negative could include like, hey, Charbonnet's not going away. We're going to run them both, 50%. Then I'm probably leaning Ford. Or B-Rob. I mean, they're both really close. But if we don't hear that, I think Walker's your play.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Thanks.
And look at the chat. The chat's voting right now. Walker or Ford, Ford or Walker, or B-Rob. All right, later, Charles. Call in if you got another one later.
Thanks.
Okay. Marco was first, then I'll go to Mo. Marco, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. I got a question about my wide receiver too. So I had Nico Collins play earlier today. I have Malik Neighbors in my wide receiver too. I'm thinking about maybe putting in AJ Brown or T Higgins over him. I'm not sure.
Over AJB?
Yeah, I have Malik Neighbors in my wide receiver too right now, but I have AJ Brown and T Higgins and Jawan Jennings. I'm not sure which one I should play.
Yeah, that's like having a red Jeep, a gray Jeep, and a blue Jeep.
Yeah.
You're like, which one should I take? I don't know, bro. I mean, they're all so close. I'd be lying to you if I just forced an answer. I will tell you this: the way I would attack it, and what I probably would do if the clock was ticking down and I had to make a mistake, because that's what you're probably gonna do. I would say, so Higgins, Neighbors, and AJB. The way I would look at it is Neighbors is playing in a game where the game script is probably going to be very positive for him, because I believe the Falcons are going to get up big and they're just going to throw the ball a ton in the third and fourth quarter. But that doesn't mean that the passes will be accurate. They could be errant passes that don't connect, and he could get a hospital ball in the third quarter and get it, be out for the game. Higgins will probably be in a very positive game script as well. At home in Cincy against the Cleveland Browns. I think he's playing for money now at this point, so he's going to definitely want to finish the year strong. They're also fighting for the playoffs, playoff spot, which is now much more in grasp than it was. So, there's a lot going for him, and he's on the best team for this. Like, Devontae Smith is on as good of a team, but it's definitely more spread out. You know what I mean? So like Higgins, I think Joe Burrow, he could feed, Chase Brown a lot of work, but Joe Burrow does throw enough that Higgins and Chase are going to get the most amount of, cake to eat, to divide up.
Yeah. So
I would say, like, in a crafty way, Higgins might be the guy I end up going with, but it's probably the highest risk play. It's not a safe play.
Yeah.
AJB
so Higgins is the guy you like the most.
Well, if AJB is
he 100% or is he like that injury? He's not listed as injured. But
who is AJB? We don't know. We don't know. From what we gathered, he was going to come back into the game if he could, but didn't need to. So, but we still don't have like clarity on it. So I think if we hear something really strong in the morning, like this is how close it is for me, bro. If I'm reading the news and Schefter says something like AJB says he's 100%, has no ill effects, and he's going to go out there and tear, then all of a sudden I'm going, oh shit, I shove him right in, but right now I love Higgins, bro.
Yeah, I do too. I'm really thinking of putting him I ran with him all year, so
I mean, AJB's been crying a lot lately. The squeaky wheel thing worked last week to a degree. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts is I mean, he does spread it around. It could be a big Barkley day. Devontae Smith and Jalen have been cooking together. AJB is no lock.
Yeah.
Tyler, thank God Tyler's here. Hold on. Tyler's got an update. Tyler says AJ Brown, no injury designation. ESPN says AJ Brown will play. Tyler.
We know that.
From the Fantasy Football Show, Doc.
Oh boy, Tyler. So just monitor in the morning, and we'll see what's what.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll be on in the morning.
All right, thanks, bro. Yeah, Higgins is just kind of like such a crafty play. It's one of those games where, like, if Higgins comes out and has one of those days, like, everyone's going to come out and be like, Higgins, top 10 wide. Like, that's what people do. They come out of the woodwork. Okay, Mo, finally your time to shine, Mo. You're live. Let's see if we can do it. Third time's a charm.
All right, so, you kind of had, like, different thoughts on Tracy. I'm trying to, I want to know, how you feel now about him. You think he's going to be splitting or, a 60-40? Because I wanted to, start Kendrick, but, I don't know, man, because Tracy could pop off because, he could get some receptions, too, and do some work on that. How you feeling on that?
I'd be lying if I said I felt good on either front. I don't love Kendre Miller, a.k.a. McMiller. I just don't. I mean, everybody's going off of one game prior to last week. And then even last week, he did okay yards per carry, but he didn't do well. So we're talking about the one touchdown the week prior. And everybody's just, I think, clinging to the fact that they have a starting running back. I need him to do good. He's going to do good. If I asked, hey, who would you start, Kendre Miller or Kenneth Walker, there'd be a bunch of people saying Kendre Miller just because they have him this week and they're just trying to put good vibes into the ether. So be careful on all the Kendre Miller hype.
Yeah.
Kendre Miller, the team would have cut him.
But it's also he
wasn't
doesn't really have someone that might take a lot of his reps. It's kind of just him, maybe Jamal Williams, because Singletary, he gets in a lot. So that's the worry because he's banged up, Tracy, and you don't know if they want to keep him healthy and not use him too much.
Correct.
So
that's what makes this a dilemma. It's okay, I don't love Kendre Miller right now, but Kendre Miller is getting majority of the work, we believe. But what kind of work is it going to be, bro? We're talking about this Green Bay New Orleans game in Green Bay. What happens if in the start of the third quarter they're down 21 points to the Green Bay Packers? Then what happens to Kendre Miller? He's relying all on checkdowns, and I just don't it. Doesn't do much for me to say, hey, he's going to get a majority of the volume when he's playing the Green Bay Packers in terrible weather. That's their backyard. They know how to play in bad weather. That's their backyard. They proved that against the Niners. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm going Tracy here, because Tracy, I have big concerns about Tracy. What if the Falcons get up by 21 points entering the third quarter? It's almost the same exact situation.
Kind of same situation.
I guess I'd ask you, is Patrick Taylor available? Is somebody else available that would make this question better? Is McMillan
Patrick
available?
Taylor, no.
McMillan?
Grabbed him.
McMillan?
No, not McMillan, no.
Yeah.
And then I was going to ask another quick one. So David Njoku, is he expected to play? Because if he's not playing, I was thinking Strange or Tucker Kraft.
Njoku's right now trending toward playing, but Strange might be a better play, a safer play anyway. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
Even if he's playing?
I mean, safer. I'm not saying he's better, but yeah. I mean, Strange. Didn't Strange get 11 targets last week?
Yeah, he did.
That was strange. Guys, let's let the chat vote, okay? McMiller, a.k.a. Kendre Miller, McMiller, or are we starting? That's just what we call him here. Or are we starting Tracy? They're essentially the same freaking player in the same or not the same player. Tracy's better, but they're in the same situation. They're basically the same play this week. They're playing on teams that can't throw the ball very well. I think the Giants can throw the ball a little better than the Saints, obviously, but because of neighbors. But what are we doing? The chat is leaning Tracy, and I'm leaning Tracy slightly as well. I don't love Tracy, but I like him more than Kendre, who honestly should have got cut. I'm not saying Kendre can't play well because the volume is there, but the team literally was about to cut. Like, the only reason they wouldn't cut him is because of his contract and he's cheap, and like they literally were done with him. The guy couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't learn the playbook. His own head coach said, "You can't play on a team if you can't stay healthy. You can't learn the playbook if you can't stay healthy." He said it at the podium. And basically called the kid out, saying, "How are you supposed to stay on a team? How are you supposed to play on a team? Why would you call somebody out unless you were at your end?" Like, this is a guy that just scraped by because of the injuries. I'm not saying he can't do well, but everybody's putting lofty expectations on him. Give me Tracy. All right, bro.
All right, man. Thanks.
Later, Mo. Joe from Missouri.
Hey, Smitty. I had a question about my with Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet splitting. Would you be running Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones this week?
Are they splitting?
I'm not really sure. I'm just assuming that they are since they're
not
both
sure.
healthy.
I know, but you're not. You're saying you posed that. Somebody's watching right now, absorbing what you just said. You don't know. We have no idea what the work. We're probably not seeing a 50-50 divide. So, like, don't convince yourself that they're splitting when you don't even know if they are. I'm sorry, but what was the rest of your question? Kendra Miller Walker versus who?
It was Kenneth Walker versus Aaron Jones. And I don't think they're splitting like 50-50, but in the past, obviously, Charbonnet's gotten a couple touchdowns, even with like maybe 3-4 carries here and there. You know what I mean?
Well, was Walker banged up, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Grubb does like using one running back when he can. He really does. So it was Walker versus Aaron Jones. God, Aaron Jones is tough because like Aaron Jones, Mixon, they're all kind of doing the same thing. They're just they're worrying us a little bit at the end of the year, but Aaron Jones has had two pretty good games back to back. But he did have that stretch of no touchdowns for four. I think it was like 5 out of the 6 games before those 2 weeks. He had only one touchdown and he was looking kind of spotty. But he's back, bro. I mean, he looks good right now. His last game, 18 carries last week, 88 yards and a touchdown. The week before that, 73 yards and a touchdown. I'm thinking Aaron Jones is probably your best bet. Then you mix in the fact that there's weather. There could be some rain, and maybe they just run the ball. I think Aaron Jones is a good play.
Sounds good. Thank you a lot for that one. Yeah. I did have one other question about Tyreek Hill. Would you do him over Garrett Wilson or JSN, or are you still sticking with Garrett Wilson and JSN? Because that's my thoughts at the moment.
I don't know, man. That's so tough. Chat, vote. Who are you sitting? You got to sit one guy. Garrett Wilson, JSN, or who is it?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, JSN, Garrett Wilson. Tyreek Hill, JSN, Garrett Wilson. Sit one. Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, JSN. Sit Tyreek. Sit Wilson. Sit Wilson. Sit JSN. Sit Tyreek. Sit Tyreek. Sit Tyreek. Sit Tyreek, sit Tyreek, Hill, JSN, Hill. The majority saying sit Tyreek Hill. You got two good players there in Garrett Wilson and Tyreek. There's a really good chance that you're like, why did I play him?
For sure. He's just like so up and down recently. And that lucky touchdown grab he got that 1 week was just confusing.
Yeah. No Waddle makes me want to play him. But it's like, is it sorcery? It's trickery. You know, we just think he's going to do it. Like the Niners will probably own the Miami Dolphins. So
is there any weather conditions? Do we know about that at all, or is it supposed to be all good?
I think it's going to be good. I think it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, that's just a toss-up. I'm just going to have to 50-50 shoot it, probably sit Tyreek Hill, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, bro, he's questionable but expected to play. But he's questionable with the torn ligament in his wrist and personal. What is his personal? What is it? Because he's on Twitter tweeting like crazy.
Yeah.
He's not struggling with something right now. He's not going through some sort of like, you know, I mean, you never know how people lash out to, I guess, cope with a big stressful situation. But the personal to me feels like it might be related to like him stepping away from the facility, or like I'm totally speculating, but he was like tweeting like a madman saying, maybe I should just go into coaching. Maybe it's time for me to coach. He kept saying things that sounded like he was saying that, you know, maybe he's at the end of his road. And it could be just him trolling people that are saying he's done. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, might as well just be an actor now, you know, or I might as well retire, you know, and he might be trolling people. But why is he now questionable but expected to play now with a personal issue? I don't know.
Yeah, man, that's just going to be a 50-50 call. I'm just going to have to roll with, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you a lot for the input.
All right, man, bro. Later.
Later.
It's so tough. Travis, you're live. First of all, Travis, what's your take on Kendre Miller? And second of all, do you agree on the Tyreek Hill situation versus like Garrett Wilson and JSN?
Yeah, I'd probably sit Hill, even though, like you said, with Waddle out, it makes you think. But I'd play the safer route. And Kendre Miller, I don't know what to think. I don't think he can stay healthy. I think that's obvious. But all the reports were that he was healthy, and Dennis Allen put him back on the IR while he was healthy. So I don't know what was going on there. And then Dennis Allen gets fired, and so I don't know if it's just, you know, mayhem all over the place there when Dennis Allen was still there or what happened. So I'm not quite sure how to judge that situation.
Yeah. I think the one thing going for Kendre Miller would be that the weather could put it into a solid game script for running the ball. But if Green Bay in their backyard, they're not scared of weather at all. If Green Bay in their backyard crushes this passing offense, it doesn't know how to play in the snow. Like they're going to get lambasted by the Packers in Lambeau. And then what happens? Kendre Miller's got to do all of his damage through the air.
Right. I'm playing the Packers over the Vikings this weekend for defense, so I think they're a great play. And so in that situation, yeah, I'd play Tracy over Kendre. And like you said, never know what can happen, but.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, the Saints could beat the Green Bay Packers on any given, like this is football, This is the NFL, but
who knows?
But the odds are
Jair Alexander's coming back, so the secondary is going to be even better. And
yeah, the odds are very strong.
Could be bad for them.
That this team that knows how to play in weather, this is their backyard, is going to rout a team that has no passing attack and is likely to get blasted even if they were playing in sunny weather. You know, or a dome. So I don't know. I fully believe this is a very, very high risk play, Kendre Miller, given all of the questions we're getting where it's like, do we go Kendre Miller or do you go Higgins or Kendre Miller or J-Mo? And it's like, I can't go Kendre Miller over those guys. I could go Kendre Miller over... Like, I could go Kendre Miller over Tracy. That's a close call. We wavered on that. I could do that. I could go either way. But I'm not liking Kendre above that. That's it. Quandre Miller, as someone talked about it last night. Let me hit this super chat real quick, then I'll come back to Travis for his question. Buffalo, Colts, Cincy, D. Give me Buffalo with the weather. I like the Buffalo play this week. They're a solid play. What up, fam? Pick one Non-PPR, Jennings, Kendre Miller, Patrick Taylor. Appreciate you. Taylor is your safe play because he probably gets good volume. And because I think the Miami Dolphins get lambasted by the mother freaking Niners, I think that Patrick Taylor gets run well. I think Jennings is a very safe play as well in some regard. But because of the potential game script of running a ton and the fact that, you know, this team has looked very shaky in the offensive line and you've had Trent Williams out, and I'm just worried about Purdy a little more than I'm worried about the running attack. And if they get up, they're going to run the ball a ton. I'm going to go ahead and say Patrick Taylor by a hair, but Jennings is a slightly higher risk, slightly higher upside play. Patrick Taylor's a safe play. The reason I say higher upside is because we've seen him drop one of the biggest fantasy weeks for a wide receiver on the year. So we know he's got that ceiling level. It's just how frequently can he hit on that, like if ever, again. But Jennings has got that higher ceiling, but Taylor feels safe. So you got to kind of pick your poison, Marco. What do you need? Are you expected to win? Then go safety. If you need a big swing, then Jennings getting 2 TDs is probably your best play. Rank downs Amari McMillan for safety. So for safety, I'm going McMillan. And he's a high risk.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Ziggy off. He's a higher risk play in other scenarios, but given Amari and Downs are even riskier, McMillan qualifies as a safer play in this question. But I have said that McMillan's high risk, high reward because he's a rookie. He could be up and down. He could vanish at any moment, then come back again. That's how rookie seasons are for wide receivers. They're like this all over the place. But those other players are riskier. All right, go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, so did you say Walker over Patrick Taylor? That would be my RB2 spot.
I'll be completely frank with you. If I did, I'm wavering on it already.
Yeah, I don't know if you had said that or not. I wasn't sure.
I might have.
If someone asked earlier or something.
I'm just being honest that I may have told someone one answer and I'm already at
Okay,
50-50 again.
And connected to that, too, I also have to decide on my flex. I have 2 flex spots, and that would be between Tyreek, Jennings, Mooney, Taylor, Charbonnet. Like, I have no idea what to do with all those.
Taylor?
Like, I'm kind of leaning Tyreek.
JT or Patrick Taylor?
Patrick Taylor. Like right now, I'm leaning Tyreek. Like I'm leaning on putting Walker as my RB2 and having Tyreek and Patrick Taylor as my 2 flexes. But there's Jennings and Mooney. Do you like either of them better? And I have McMillan too.
I may like Jennings more than I like Tyreek right now. I know that I might live to regret that statement.
I've gone back and forth all week with it. I wasn't sure if I play Jennings, should I play Taylor too?
No Waddle makes it so complicated. No Waddle makes it so complicated because it gives us false hope, or it means he's going to blow up. Like we don't know. No one knows. Damn, bro. I guess I would either go Jennings and Patrick Taylor, or I'm sorry, Patrick Taylor. Who are the 3 players? Walker, Patrick Taylor. Walker, Hill, and who was the other one that you were starting?
Well, so let's just say I put Walker in my RB2, so I need 2 flex. I can choose between Tyreek, Jennings, Patrick Taylor, Mooney, and McMillan.
And I like Mooney too, McMillan. They're all very close.
I know. I guess I'm just kind of looking for, an opinion. I'll look at what the chat says too.
Give me Jennings, Walker, and Patrick Taylor, but it's close.
Jennings, Walker, Taylor. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to see what the chat goes to. Yeah.
Looks like
No.
We're getting a lot of Walker and Taylor, so it really comes down to Hill and Jennings. Guys, vote Hill or Jennings. Hill. It looks like Jennings is getting a lot of votes too. I think that feels safe, but I mean, the question is what's safe and what is high risk, high reward. Tyreek Hill is. If you want high risk, high reward, you want a huge, big swing, go Tyreek Hill, I guess, over Jennings. But I don't know. I just think that like Hill feels like such a risk, and we got this fake propped up hope of no Waddle. What's it mean? But are the Niners going to just dismantle Tua? Just dismantle. Well, Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
And I don't know. I could see the Niners winning this game handedly and having that whole, like, you know, now that 0.5% chance of making the playoffs goes to, you know, 4.5. And they're going to be all over that. I could just see all that happening. I think the Niners will win this game. I think Shanahan is going to absolutely play mind games with his former student, Miami Mike McDaniel, who cannot manage the clock or coaching scenarios for the life of him. He's been awful. He's been absolutely dreadful. All right, hold on, Travis.
Go
ahead real quick, and I got to get over this.
Real quick. Yeah, my opponent, like most of those guys that I named off are playing at like 4 o'clock games. So my opponent has a ton of 1 o'clock players, I just realized. So if I need a big swing, like who would the players be? Like, I think we established what the safe play would be. Would McMillan go in or Mooney if I need a big swing? Or would it just be like throw Tyreek in for Patrick Taylor?
I like the idea of like McMillan being in the back on the back burner, like waiting, and you can throw him right to the front burner.
Yeah, he could have a big game against Dallas.
I like that. You could wait on Hill and McMillan and Jennings all together, right? You know, obviously,
right?
They're playing each other.
He has like Barkley, Amon-Ra, Devontae, Adams, all going at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so bring that
at 1 o'clock.
Bring that to the afternoon show when we do the wrap up of the afternoon and morning games, because then we're going to be heading into the Niner game, a Miami Dolphin game, and then obviously Tampa plays. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the afternoon. That's the afternoon game. Shit, Tampa Dallas is the Sunday night game.
I'll have to do it on the fly, but
yeah, my bad. All right, hang tight, Travis. Let me get to these super chats.
I have an idea now. Yeah, thanks.
New England at Bills full game preview. Malcolm, son of a, for $1.99 a full game preview. Jeez,
they only give you so many characters.
I mean, Smitty, can you do a top 150 ranking with a paragraph per player? New England Bills. I'm going to say
1 cent per player.
I'm going to say this will be easy, actually. Josh Allen, give me 4 TDs total. 1 or 2 running. The rest will be, throwing. Maybe he catches one of his own touchdowns. But he's going to have I'll call it a 3 or 4 touchdown game. 300 total yards. Absolute monster day. The rotation of his weapons is hard to predict, and I'd be an idiot for trying to predict it, honestly. I don't know what to tell you, whether it's going to be Shakir, what's going on with Amari, Keon. You just can't predict it. I think Cook has a pretty good day because they get up and they run a little. So I'm going to say Cook has about 90 yards and a touchdown. Josh Allen has the 300 total yards and 3 to 4 touchdowns. On the other side of the football, bro, I don't know that New England's going to have much. I think it's going to look a lot like a line where you're just combing through it trying to find somebody that scored 10 points, I think Drake May has a couple of interceptions. I think he fumble. Maybe he ends up having some garbage, double touchdowns in the third or fourth quarter. So he could be okay. He could have like an okay day. At the end of it all, he could have an INT and a fumble and 2 touchdowns and 240 yards because he's throwing from behind and they start playing prevent defense. I mean, who the hell knows? But there's a lot of weather factors involved in this that make me think the New England side is a must avoid. And I don't think that Stevenson will be in a position to run much in the third and fourth quarter. It'll be, do they dump it off to him? Does he get some PPR points? I mean, sometimes they use him in the PPR game, sometimes they don't. I'm not going near any New England Patriot player, and I think the Bills they're still good plays. Like if you had Amari, you had Shakir. Like Shakir's good for like 12 points, 10 to 12 points. It's a really good play, but I don't know who's going to get the scores. I just know Josh Allen's going to get, at least one or two on the ground. So thank you, Malcolm. Appreciate you. Full PPR, Bucky or Scary Terry this week. I think you can't sit Scary Terry, but that does not mean that I want you to sit Bucky. That's your problem that you got such a good team. But, Jared, I can't sit Scary Terry. Also, Darnold or Love. Both weather games potentially. One is in the snow, though. So, I don't know. I think maybe I would say, like, Darnold's your safer play because he's got two monster weapons. Love has good weapons. He spreads it around nicely. He's been doing well. I'm probably going to go Darnold. Assuming we don't get some sort of like weather update that it's, like wind, like some sort of like, hampering the offense. It's not just a little rain or drizzle or wet conditions or whatever. JJ, he's got weapons galore. So Darnold is probably the guy you want to play. I have Penix Jr. as well, but looking for safety. Okay, well, I guess I would say this. I'd probably say if the weather looks shaky for both Love and Darnold, and right now it kind of does, I start Penix Jr. But I do think Darnold is a very safe play. And if you want safety, and that's what you're describing here, you're a safe Jared. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a safe Sammy. You're just not a high risk, Harold. Then, and you wrote in here, I have Penix Jr. as well, but looking for safety this week. Then you don't want to ride this train. You don't want to ride the Penix train, baby. I don't think you do. I think, Jared, if you did and it failed, you would blame me. I'm not saying anything bad about you as a person. I'm just saying I can tell the way you crafted this right here. You want safety. Darnold is your safe play. And to be honest with you, Darnold and Penix could have the same kind of game. You know what I mean? Like they both could be really good. Both could have 3 or 4 TDs. 8-man league, $10 super chat from Rye Guy McFly. Full PPR, need a flex. Jacoby Bowers, Jennings, DK, or McMillan. Woo! I would probably say Jennings is your safe play. DK is your high risk, high reward, depending on what you need. McMillan's in the same bucket of high risk, high reward, but DK is hard to sit for me. Not on the injury report. Dino's going to start. Probably playing from behind against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings
let up a lot.
Yeah, they can shut teams down sometimes, and they can give up a ton. And right now, they feel like they're in the later half of that. At the beginning of the year, people were scared of them. I remember we'd be like, "Oh, they're playing the Vikings! Oh my God, they're going to shut them down!" But people have been ripping them up at times, and it's not something that scares me anymore. Sit one, Achane, Bucky, Chase Brown. We talked about this. Probably sitting Bucky because he's still in a semi-sharing situation. That's the only logic you can throw out at that right now, bro. You're playing with fire sitting Bucky or Achane. That's crazy, but that's, or Chase Brown. You're talking about 3 very, ideal players to start every single week, and they're very similar. But I would say I lean toward the committee threat as the reason and rationale. And he's been banged up, but I don't know. I can't say sit Bucky. I just can't do it. All right, let me go over to the phone lines here. Mitch from Oregon. Go ahead, Mitch from Oregon.
Smitty, how you doing?
Live, Mitch.
Hey, I got a question for you. For my flex, I am deciding on either Breece Hall or T. Higgins. I'm leaning towards Hall, but I mean, I heard you earlier in the show, and you were saying you loved Higgins, and I don't blame you, but
I'd probably say, damn it. I just hate the Jets, bro. Right now, I just can't stand them. They're like that team.
I mean, the thing that worries me is the workload and Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen.
If I had a Jets helmet, I would smash it in the middle of a game, just right against a brick wall or on a this is why people burn their jerseys and like this feeling, this trap feeling of like why. Like why everybody banking on Adams and Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers this week. I'm not saying they can't have another good game before they disappoint you the next week. I'm not saying that. But do you really your life is on the line? You're gonna bet that Aaron Rodgers is gonna repeat what he just did?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess I would probably say Breece Hall is your high risk, high reward play because he could be the number one running back on the week. I mean, if they fed him right, the game script, like let's say there's a turnover at the beginning of the game and they just scored and it's like, oh my God, the Jets are, going to do it again. And it wouldn't shock me if they looked good at the end when it didn't matter. It's like, oh, we can't even do anything with this, but like, hey, let's blow it up. But the Rams are fighting for a playoff spot and they're in a battle in the NFC West. So
and the Rams just look so much better than them right now.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that the Rams might get out ahead early. But the other thing is with the Bengals and Browns, I mean, Chase could get an early couple touchdowns or whatever, and Chase Brown's going to be running the ball, and then maybe T. Higgins gets left out.
You got game script to worry about, sure, but T. Higgins is also playing for a contract, and good to see him having a nice game. I'd probably say Breece Hall is your high risk, high reward play if you need it. And the risk isn't crazy. I mean, he had a really bad game, bro, last week, and he still had a touchdown, and it's salvaged, and he did fairly well. It wasn't a bad game. I would say Breece Hall is your high risk, high reward play because of the Jets' game script and offense. T. Higgins feels a lot safer, but I don't know that his upside's as high as Breece Hall's, bro.
Well, honestly, what I was thinking of doing is waiting until the morning and seeing if there's any new information, like depending on, if Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen are going to get a few more carries than normal or what. But I was honestly leaning Breece Hall.
Then my advice is to go with your gut. I don't want to change your mind on a 50-50 call, bro. I'm barely leaning it. Like now I'm going to switch you to no. Go Breece Hall, bro. Lock it in. Don't even think about it again. That's what your gut told you. At least that's what you thought and down deep, bro. All right, later, bro. Gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, just one other quick question. Green Bay or Buffalo defense?
I love both of them, bro. Both in weather, both at home. Flip a coin. Probably, Jair Alexander back. It's a really good play. The New Orleans Saints are gonna freaking blow in this game. I do think the New England Patriots will as well, but at least they got a competent quarterback that's gonna face a lot of adversity that he can't control. He doesn't have weapons. I think the thought of having Mayo return probably has Travis's skin crawling because good God, like this guy's not. He's not it. But maybe that's good because they have one more bad season and then they can can him instead of canning a good coach.
I don't know if they will. Kraft loves him. It's worrisome. That's the biggest worry.
Yeah, I'll probably go Green Bay then.
All right, gotta go, Mitch. Later, bro.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dre from New Jersey, you're live.
Uncle Smitty, patience is a reward. Patience is a virtue. So I know you just said this kind of broke my heart. I'm rolling out actually with Breece, G. Willie, and Adams. Just quick, yay or nay? You like that or you don't like that?
Wait, why did that break your heart? What?
Because you just said you're not confident in the Jets, but half of my lineup, I ended up getting stuck with the Jets.
Oh, okay. Give me your question. Give me your question one more time.
Do you feel confident about Breece, G. Willie, and Adams tomorrow?
No. I mean, you heard my entire speech. Yes. So no. No, I'm not.
Damn. So, what are your thoughts on the Adam? Can I ask your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers documentary? Have you watched it? Do you want to watch it?
I haven't watched the whole thing. I've liked Aaron Rodgers more than most over the last 2 or 3 years, as he's gotten a lot of hate. But I gotta say, this last season has really worn me down, just because of this team more so than anything. And then to have Aaron Rodgers be a part of that, it's tying him to the negative feelings. And I don't know, like, I do think Aaron Rodgers, I can't stand the way a lot of people talk about him and Mahomes and other quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have egos. They got to be that way. Like, whatever, like, let them be. But I right now, I'm not feeling good about Aaron Rodgers just in general. Because
you don't think he wants to close this season on a high?
I do think he wants to.
Sure. On the hot seat next year?
Sure, and I think that's what you're telling yourself, to say this can happen for 2 more weeks. But, bro, if it doesn't fail you this week, it's going to fail you next week. But maybe you'll be good to go this week. Maybe you'll get 90 and a TD out of Adams, and maybe you'll get 9 receptions for 110 and no TDs out of Garrett Wilson. And maybe Breece Hall has 125 and a TD. That's only 2 TDs between these. Let's say they only scored 2 touchdowns. That's solid. Like, Aaron Rodgers could have 240 yards, 1 TD, and 1 INT, and 240, 1 TD could feed all this. Hall could have his touchdown on the ground. That could feed all this. That's not. You don't need Aaron Rodgers to have 295 yards and 3 touchdowns for these two to have a good game. But you're asking this to happen 2 weeks in a row. That's more the thing that I think could fail you. But look, I mean, it is what it is. And there are a lot of people that have Adams that are very, very, very pro Adams this week. Like, they love Adams this week, but of course they do. They own him. The people that are loud usually own that player. You know what I mean? So you can. This is like when we come in here and we talk about Chase Brown. Well, yeah, we promote him, we talk about him. It's biased, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. Our bias, I think, tends to be more right than wrong. But I don't know, bro. What else are you gonna do? Let it go. Let it rip. Maybe Hall go. This might be your saving grace. Maybe your other players step up and your other opponent has a bad game. Maybe Hall has 150 total yards and 2 TDs, and Adams and Garrett Wilson combined for like 15 points. Who cares? Like, who knows? Maybe one of these guys carries all 3 of them in consecutive weeks. All right, gotta go, bro. Good luck to you, Dre. Don't fret. It's already decided. Billy from Mass, and then over to Heating. Go ahead, Billy.
Smitty, what's going on, my dude?
What's up?
I got the championship this week. I only do 1 league, so I got to take this down. We're hoping for a big game from Chase Brown. But I had to check in with you before tomorrow, and I think I know what you're going to say. But I need to decide who to play at quarterback between Daniels and Hurts. Who you going with? I'm guessing Hurts, but I had to ask.
I think it's something you need to waiver. I'm not like, look. I think I probably lean Jalen Hurts, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, JD5 could be number 3, could be number 4 overall this week. I mean, Hurts could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd venture to say the likelihood of Hurts being a top 5 QB is greater than JD5's, but maybe JD5 has a slight, better chance of being the number 1 overall quarterback because of his running ability and all. So, but his range is going to be 1 to like 9, whereas Hurts is going to be like 2 or 3 to 6. So there's overlap. Which means that anything can happen. But the reason I would go with Hurts is, I mean, what more do we have to see? Last year, even in the years prior, I mean, the last 2 years, the dude's had 15 and 13 rushing touchdowns. He's 3 straight years with 10 plus touchdowns. What he did last year, what he's doing now. I mean, how can you sit him? What does he rank in your league? Probably the same across most all leagues.
Like for the whole season, or what? Like
Yeah.
projections? For
Yeah,
this
it should
week?
be third. Should be third roughly in your league.
For the whole season in my league, it's 4 points passing touchdown. Hurts is fourth for the year, and Daniels is sixth.
Yeah, it's close.
No, I love Hurts. I only do one fantasy league each year, and I've had Hurts on my team this year and last year. I mean, I love him. I'd hate to not play him and have him go off. And I feel like he's a little safer, but Daniels also, I mean, Daniels is pretty good himself. And,
It's
so
crazy.
athletic.
What's crazy is the overlap I'm talking about. It's like evident right in their stats. Hurts was 4 and QB 6 the last 2 weeks. JD 5, and that's this particular league I pulled up. And JD 5 was 1, 2, and 7. So exactly what I said. He's more likely to be 1 or 2, but he's got a little bit. He has that QB 24, QB 24, QB 11, QB 11, QB 30, QB 11, QB 12, QB 18. He has that capability of being down lower, but I mean, bro, he's been QB 3, 1, 2, 3. He's been a top 5 QB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's pretty good. JD5's been unreal. But I can't sit Jalen Hurts, bro. Chat, vote on this one. Jalen Hurts, JD5. Help out Billy. Billy, appreciate it. Call back if you got another one. I got to go, bro. Heating, you're live, bro.
All right, Smitty, I got some dumb questions for you because I'm overthinking this going to semifinals.
Okay.
So I'm nervous with these Rams receivers going up against Sauce, and I'm thinking about starting McMillan over one of them.
Over Puka or Cup?
Yeah.
Why would you sit Puka Nacua, bro? Come on.
I'm thinking about Cup more than that.
Okay,
more
but
than Puka.
why say it the way you did? Because you were thinking.
True. That's true.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I could understand going McMillan over Cup, but I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think people are telling the Cooper Kupp story properly. Oh, he's trash. He did nothing. He's washed. He can't even catch a pass. What the game I saw, he was running down the field wide open on a 50, 60-yard touchdown strike that Stafford didn't even see him running.
True.
And when I rewatched the game, because I wanted to make sure, he was running fine. He was running all over the field. He's cutting left and right. He's dragging across the middle of the field. Stafford just was off. Him and Kupp were off. I'm not saying McMillan, who has scored 3 TDs in the last 2 weeks, isn't an exciting, fun, mother freaking play. But I can't sit Cooper Kupp right now. I just can't. I just can't.
And then I got 2 more for you.
And not to mention, bro, the hedging of your bets with that, and the fact that the Rams are fighting for a playoff spot, and
a playoff spot.
Like what happens if Sauce locks down Puka? Well, Kupp's gonna go nuts. What happens if Sauce locks down Kupp? Then Puka's like, you got to hedge your bets on that anyway, bro.
They're not both going to play terrible. That's true.
No, one's going crazy.
And then the other thing, because I'm overthinking, 2 more. Do I sit Breece Hall for Tracy? Because Breece has been playing like garbage lately.
Call terminated.
You start overthinking things to the degree like you're talking like that. I'm not saying Tracy can outscore Breece in a perfect way. You start going in that direction. You need to do one of these so you remember it. You need the slap so you remember it. Because if I just say, oh, you don't do that, you might hang up the phone line and then tomorrow morning forget. And then all of a sudden you think about it again and you sit Breece Hall. But if you get a little... you very well will remember it. I mean, come on, bro. Okay, Anthony W., you're live.
Hey, Smitty, I got a quick question. So I need a wide receiver and a flex. I'm kind of overthinking this one as well. So I got Drake London, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Swift, and Aaron Jones. So I'm leaning London and Aaron Jones, but because, Hill's wrist kind of popped up on the report last minute. I don't even know what they're doing.
Hill's wrist, whoa, bro. Hill's wrist popped up on the report last minute. What the hell are you talking about? Hill's wrist, he's had a torn ligament for months. He hasn't popped up on nothing.
Why are they?
Have you not been paying attention? Have you not been paying attention to the injury? Yeah. Bro, he's on the injury report every single week for the wrist, and then they take him off about Friday or Saturday to indicate that the torn ligament in his wrist won't have him not playing in the game. Then on Monday, he pops up on the injury report again. Then they take him off. On Monday, he pops on the... This is every week. You know, to say that he popped up on the injury report randomly, bro, he's on it every single week. He's on it for personal as well, though, which is the shocking part. But go ahead, continue your story. I just had to tell it properly.
Oh yeah, I think I understand that part. It's just maybe I lack the understanding of them like maybe it's a Yahoo thing or ESPN. I don't know, but the injury, it's the same reason that the report comes up. So like Thursday they clear him, and then Friday it comes up again. Maybe it's the personal reason, but maybe it's aggravating. So that's why I was leaning towards like benching him and throwing in like Aaron Jones and Drake London at the flex. I just don't know how Penix Jr is going to be. I don't think we all do, but
whoa.
Yeah,
you were on a roll until
finish him. Call terminate.
All right, Anthony, I'm not going to hang up on you on that one, but we know how Penix Jr is going to be. I don't know if you might not know how Penix Jr. We know what we're dealing with here. He's going to be perfect. He's an angel. He's not going to have an incompletion. Penix Jr. is going 40 for 40. All right. Look,
I just don't feel good because I'm going against the whole Buffalo Bill offense.
Okay,
so
I would start Aaron Jones. I would start Aaron Jones in London anyway. So you're not crazy. You're not crazy there. The only crazy thing you said was that Penix Jr. wasn't perfect and an angel. All right.
Well, please shoot us some prayers for your boy because I'm going against the whole Bills offense.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Anthony.
All right, man.
All right, Travis. Back to Travis. Go ahead. Anything else, Travis?
Yeah, we'll pull it up. So Strange over Pitts this week at tight end.
I don't know about that now. I don't know. I'd probably say for now, yeah.
For now, yeah. I think that's it. So I guess just I play it by ear, and if I need a big swing, I might pivot to McMillan with all those flex options, or like McMillan and Hill over Taylor and Jennings or something like that.
If I had to decide right now, I'm going Taylor and Walker and who is the other one that I said? Who did I say? Jennings? I think Jennings.
So there's Patrick Taylor, Tyreek Hill, Jennings.
But what did I say? I said
McMillan.
I said Jennings.
I think you had said
Jennings.
Walker at the RB, Taylor,
and
then I can't remember if you said Hill or Jennings.
I said Jennings. Yeah,
Okay.
that's who I would go
that's
now
right. Yep.
in a pinch. But I'm kind of like the idea of what you said. You get to see your opponent score, in the morning games, and then you can kind of decide. And on the Patreon, I'll try and be in there. On the Patreon, get my attention in there, and we'll talk it out. But I think for those of you that aren't on the Patreon, we're sitting literally on this thing the entire morning, afternoon, evening games on Sundays, Monday game, Thursday game. We're actually specifically inside this game day lounge, start bench chat, live chat room. And everybody, the entire Patreon's crammed into that one live chat when games are going on. And that's just during games. Like, this is a 24/7, 365 live chat group. And you can get there by going to patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow, or click the link that's in the description of the video, or click this link right here that I'm dropping in the live chat, and I'll pin it in the live chat right here. Let me do that right now. Pinned the bad boy, if it will let me. I don't know why it won't let me. I'll pin it in a second. But anyway, on the Patreon, get my attention in there as we get close to the afternoon games, or just DM me or whatever. But I think there's a really good chance that you'll kind of have a gut feeling where to go.
Yeah, I just looked at it again. So the only players I have going early is Hurts, Gibbs, and my kicker. And he's got everyone going early except for JSN, his kicker, and defense. So
Because bro, I mean, Jennings is a safe play. Jennings is a very safe play. And so that'll be good. You'll know if you need that or not. And, Patrick Taylor will be a safe play, I think, too. Walker. You could end up just going Patrick Taylor as the RB and then Jennings and Hill and feel like, Walker's got risk. Is Tyreek Hill's risk any different than Walker's? If you want to go Walker really badly, that's maybe the player you swap out. I'm not saying that can't burn you to smithereens later, but especially if it's raining and, Minnesota's maybe they're running the ball well.
Good against the run. And Minnesota's still pretty good against the run, so
we'll see. But bring it to the live chat. We'll hammer it out there.
All
right, later, Travis. Appreciate you. Later. All right, super chats here. Pick one wide receiver, one flex. We'll go Addison and Jennings for safety. Or no, I'm sorry, Addison. Damn, Adams. I don't know what to do here. Adams is a player that I feel like I'm not giving enough credit to, but maybe at the end of it all, when the game's over and I come in here and I go, that's why didn't I stick to my gut? That's why am I going off the big game? The big game should have nothing to do with it, because he hasn't. It's Aaron Rodgers is the problem. If Aaron Rodgers can't get in a groove like he did, it was a rarity. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say Adams and Jennings for safety, Adams and Taylor, or Adams and Addison for a bigger swing. But guys, pick two, one flex, one wide receiver for Malcolm. Addison, Jennings, Adams, Patrick Taylor, Mondre. Throw Mondre out. I mean, anything can happen, but Addison, Jennings, Adams, or Patrick Taylor, pick two, please. Pick two. Help out Malcolm. Help me out, because I can't decide. I guess right now, if I had to pick, I'd say Adams and give me Adams and Addison. Final answer, but I don't know if it's right. It is what it is, bro. I mean, you're talking about the definition of 50-50 calls. I mean, and you got 5 of them. So these are 20 calls. And Njoku or Hawkinson. And Njoku's been banged up, and I'm not even hesitating there. Started McMillan over Worthy. What type of coffee? Hey, McMillan still gets to go, bro. Don't feel like you missed that one yet at all. Flex Tyreek, Chuba, or Addison. I go Addison. No. I go Chuba. Yeah, Chuba against the Cardinals. Chuba over. I like Addison a lot, though. I wish you could play them both. Go Chuba Hubbard. Strange or Hawkinson. I'm going to go Hawkinson. Thank you, Bleezo. Appreciate you. The digital, appreciate you. Start Watson or Amari Cooper. Is Cooper hurt right now? Like, what is the deal? Or is he just trash? Like, is he banged up? Safe to call Buffalo Bills wide receiver Amari Cooper wrist. Okay, so he does have a wrist injury. I can't trust a guy that's been doing what he's doing. No, thank you. Give me Watson. Watson's been at least playing some solid football here and there, bench one, Kyron. Come on, AJB Cup, Juwan. You got to set Juwan Jennings here. I think you start Juwan over AJB if there's some morning concern at all. But I sit Juwan here. I couldn't deal with. I would lose sleep. I think I already answered this one. Yeah, thank you. I'd lose sleep if I sat AJB and he went nuts over. But Jennings, I wouldn't feel that way. If Jennings outscores AJB, I'm gonna understand. Pick 2 running back: Pollard, Cook, Tracy, Kendra Miller, and DK. In waivers, I should drop Judy or Devontae Smith to pick up or leave. I do not drop Devontae Smith and give him to your opponent, bro. Pick 2, I'm probably going. Give me DK and Cook. I mean, Pollard's a safe play. He's going to play. But give me DK and Cook. Hello. I just had Muth and Collins bust today. Who should I run in the flex? I need a lot of points. Stevenson, Miller, or Tracy. None of those guys are going to get you a bunch of points, bro. I guess you roll with, people think Miller's going to go nuts. Guys, there's 500 of you in here and only 136 thumbs up. Can we get some thumbs up, please? Appreciate you. Those are rookie numbers, 136. 2 hours and 10 minutes into a live stream with 500 people in the building, the whole show. Can we get at least 200 thumbs up? 136 is not cutting it. Please smash it. Slap it. Guys, Stevenson, Miller, Tracy, he needs about a 50-point game from this guy. Which one are we rolling with? I think the chat's going to tell you Miller because he's getting all the work. But, bro, I'd probably say Tracy if I had to pick one. But I don't know that it's going to get it done. But Tracy is probably the guy to roll with, I suppose. Flex 1, Shakir, Jennings, Debo, Patrick Taylor. Give me give me Taylor for safety because of the volume in the game script. But Jennings a little bit higher risk but higher reward. But still a pretty safe play. Like, Jennings is a safe... Overall, a safe play. I just think Patrick Taylor is going to get some guaranteed work. Pick your poison. I think they're both really good. Jennings might be... Give me Patrick Taylor because I think the game script is going to be such that they're going to be running the damn ball, bro. Need a flex. Jonu, Adams, Thielen, Tajay. If Pollard says Pollard's not sitting, he's going to play. Or Patrick Taylor. I think Jonu's your safe play. Patrick Taylor's high, even though he's safer than other players, Patrick Taylor's a higher risk, higher reward player versus Jonu. Chad, are we going Jonu or are we going Patrick Taylor? Please vote. Give me 10 votes on this one for David, please. Give me at least 10 votes. Patrick Taylor or Jonu Smith? Let's help out. Let's help him out. He needs our help. Please vote. At least 10 votes. Big Penix energy. Let's go, says Slim. That's right, bro. JT or Dowdle. Probably Dowdle for safety. JT for higher risk, higher reward. Peanut Butter and Waivers says 425 and 4 TDs. You forgot the 40 for 40 with no incompletions, my boy. Jonu won the vote already. Jonu over everybody, according to the chat. Flex, full PPR, Kittle or London. Kittle's safe, London's higher risk, higher reward. Pick your poison. You need safety, Kittle's pretty damn safe. Jonu to the moon, says Rudy, absolutely. Superfish nailed that prediction on the big prediction board above. Definitely going to win the contest. I don't think there's I remember reading them all. I don't think there's anybody that's going to come close. Jonu Smith. And Superfish's prediction was Jonu Smith would be a top 5 tight end. And that might not sound like the craziest prediction ever right now, in hindsight. But I got out of my seat and I almost spit up whatever I was drinking. And I'm like, if you land this, you're winning it. Like, it was that bad at the moment, meaning, like, was not easy to see coming. Like, that was a great prediction. I can't wait to reset this board, and it's going to be fun. Superfish to the moon. Superfish crushed it. And the winner gets to co-host the show for at least a segment or two. And if Superfish doesn't want to do that on video or whatever, you can do it on the phone line. And if you don't want to do it at all because you're kind of shy about it, you can gift it away. And if you want, like if you want to gift it to Denny, you can do that, Superfish. But Superfish might want to come on and talk about it. Zepeda with the $5 hauler. Should I start Patrick Taylor or Spears instead of Judy? I'd go Patrick Taylor. He's a very decent play. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you all about an hour and a half before kickoff tomorrow. At least an hour and 15 minutes. Appreciate every single one of you.
Get buckied. Buckied.
A lot of people ask me to perform miracles on this channel. Smitty, make something amazing happen. And I say, you know what? I can. Watch this. Watch this right here. I'll take this and boom. And then out of nowhere, zoom in on this bad boy. Zoom in on that.
They laughed when we said he was about to be an unstoppable force for all to see. With Chase Brown, get up, get down. With Chase Brown.
By the way, that Flowers call was pretty good. Flowers, I saw someone complaining about Flowers in the chat. Why am I not satisfied with Flowers tonight? Because you wanted the touchdown, but Flowers at 100 yards. It was a good day. It was a good call. We had a lot of Flowers questions, and Flowers was this week kind of sneaky, start at that level of a play. So congrats to all you Zay Flowers out there.
Kenneth Skywalker.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Get Brees.
Hey, Chan.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Don't forget, the fantasyfootballshow.com is year-round, and it's... Look, I actually have the exact screenshot of what it looks like now, so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is the product line here. Bold predictions, trade calculator, rankings, articles, video courses, and then a link to the show. This is it. Trade calculator. I invented what I believe to be the first trade calculator, at least to the style and way that mine works. People would have downloadable like Dominator products that you'd have to insert your team, and it was like a program, and then it'd spit out recommendations. I got in the industry because I wanted to create the first player trade calculator that didn't need anything. You just click the player, multiple player trades, 4 for 1, 3 for 2, 5 for 5, and I wanted the calculator to work instantly without entering rosters. Customer facing trade calculator, no one had it. Not that I could find, so I entered the industry in 2003 and I created that. I've been in the industry since 2003 for 20 plus years doing content. Content was my baby before YouTube. Content was my baby before 19 years in radio before YouTube, and the trade calculator was the reason. And Dynasty, my site was mainly Dynasty. It was like 80% Dynasty owners consuming year-round content because nobody created year-round content. I should say the reason I got in was the trade calculator need in the industry, but also year-round content. Not just Dynasty, but somebody needed to create redraft rankings in March. And everybody laughed at me. I go, why do you want redraft rankings in March? Your draft's going to change everything. Who cares? Why would you not want it? So I created content. The fantasyfootballshow.com. It's here. It's here. And this is the new revamped website because I wanted to get back to Dynasty without ruining or touching or diluting any redraft content. So I divided the site into redraft and dynasty. So you can see all of the blue content is going to be redraft. All of the green content is going to be dynasty, not excluding the colors of these images above it, but in terms of like every article. So you'll see some of these are highlighted. I have redraft, dynasty, I have dynasty rankings, redraft rankings, the blue box around redraft, the green box around dynasty, etc., etc., etc. Video courses, articles, bowl predictions, you name it. This is where you want to go for year-round content. 365 rankings, 365 trade calculator, 365 player write-ups, 365 bowl predictions, 365 video courses. Doesn't slow down, doesn't shut down. The rookie content's coming probably on January 1. Majority of it all will be up on the site, and then we start dropping and dripping out the dynasty and rookie and NFL draft content on January 1 here on the YouTube channel. But get your lifetime membership so you never pay for content again, or you could get just a yearly membership. It's all up. The 2025 packages are up. Everything's good to go. Go check it out. See you all tomorrow morning about an hour to an hour and a half before kickoff. BC late super chat says, I'm starting AR5 and Penix over Tua. Agree? Yes, I agree, BC. And Mark with the final super chat of the evening. PPR pick 1 tight end and 1 flex. Bowers, McBride, Hubbard, Higgins, DJ Moore. Foolish to play safe 2 tight ends. Who at QB, Rodgers or Stafford? Give me Stafford and give me Hubbard. And honestly, give me Hubbard and I don't know, Hubbard or Higgins is your flex. I love both of them. You know, in the morning, maybe we vote on that. Or if the chat wants to vote now on that, Hubbard or Higgins, please vote on that. Hubbard or Higgins, Hubbard or Higgins. I'm going to go Bowers over McBride. Bowers has O'Connell back. You know, so Caps' best show there is, hands down. I subbed 5 minutes after finding Smitty and this family here. Only subscription I pay for. Thank you, Caps. Appreciate you. What a comment. Let's keep, you know, we're going to keep that up for a little bit, Caps. That's a hell of a comment, bro. Keep that right here. Caps knows how to get himself pinned. It's a man that knows what he's doing there. Marketing. You work in marketing, don't you, Caps? Marketing or customer service, my boy. All right, see you all in the morning. Appreciate you. I don't think we had any celebratory messages, do we? We did. Raven or whatever. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry. Pick 2 PPR BTJ London DK. Give me BTJ and DK for, I guess, safety, because I still think DK's got a ton of upside, but London and BT for a little bit riskier play. But I guess at the end of the day, if I'm forced to choose, I would go London and BT because DK hasn't played well lately. So I hate sitting DK, though. I hate it. Thank you, Caps. Appreciate you. Caps to the moon. All right, see you all tomorrow.